Okay, the live stream should be starting up soon. Please give me a moment so I can go ahead and get all my streams set up properly. Such as updating YouTube thumbnail and things like that. Okay, YouTube thumbnails update the Rumble description. Okay, Rumble description's up to date. Now just double check, make sure the live streams are good. Looks like both live streams are good. Let me just check my other computer. Be able to preview. And looks like everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. And which I need to actually copy and paste over somebody's name. It's sort of interesting. The AoE 4 world has different leaderboards than the Age of Empires 4 leaderboards. So one involves Elo, the other one involves raiding. I guess one's tracked. I guess they're tracked separately. One's a fan site, the other one is not a fan site. So let's go ahead and start from the top. This name is relatively unique. Let's see if this person has... Yep, there are some replays here. Standard, custom, team ranked, solo ranked. Let's see, 13 minutes. I probably should have found a replay before I started the stream. It's 9th. What? Last Friday? 22 23rd. So most of these replays may have been a bit... I may have casted all of those replays, so let's go ahead to the next person then. I don't say cast, but browse through them. Here we go, here's some recent replays. 11 minutes, nope. 15 minutes, nope. 18 minutes, nope. 10 minutes, nope. 41 minutes, maybe. 12, no. 13, no. 17, no. 11, no. A 33, here we go. And this one's from today, so let's go ahead and do this one. 26 minutes. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the green English, we have some sort of symbol. Spawn north top right side as the blue English, or not English, as the blue Delhi Sultanate. We have Zan Mato. Zamato. Of course, it's early echoing phase. Sounds like blue's finding a whole bunch of sheeps. Green does find a pair of sheep as well. Gold's being collected up almost immediately, as well as harvesting up some sheep. Blue does get a good number of sheep now back at home. It's not collecting a whole lot of sheep. In fact, he's primarily focused on the foray. I wonder what has a better collection rate, sheep or foray? I need to actually look that up. Green is now eyeing for a bit of lumber there. Blue's not really eyeing a whole lot of lumber. We do now have the Tower of Victory being built for blue. Right here. Castle Hall being built up by green as well. This of course allowing access to the longbow and stuff. And the Tower of Victory, I can't remember what it does off the top of my head. Oh, but you got... I got a fight? Looks like just a scout receiving a bit of fire. Nothing too significant. You now see some archers being employed on up. Of course, it has the scholar influence and the scholar potential benefits. Over here in the center, we do have a handful of longbowmen and spearmen. Scout does receive a bit of fire there. And let me just move my microphone a little bit higher. There we go.
Let us go. Forward here.
We got a handful of longbowmen here. And the blue scout just more or less just keeping the area scouted out. We do have, looks like blue archers now advancing forward. The longbowmen do of course have a bit more damage and range, so this would be a good engagement for longbowmen in general, but they do receive a first strike there. I did see a bit of a Q move up there. He's trying to focus fire with his longbowmen, which was a good idea. Now the blue archer does go down. One longbowman does go down as well. Spearmen are now advancing back from green, and blue's backing off with his fresh set of archers. A little bit of palisade walls being deployed now. Got a very good number of longbowmen deployed out in the field. What is the other landmark for the English? I only ever see the council landmark. Sorry if you heard that. And right now I can't remember what the other landmark even does, since people just go for the council hall for the longbowmen. Because the council hall prevents you from needing to pull out any sort of barracks or archery range. Takes out one of the longbowmen right there. We still need a barracks for the spearmen, but you at least don't have to worry about pulling out any archery ranges, because you get a fast production archery range unit. Good volley onto the longbowman there. Does get another kill there as well. Of course, they can build palisade walls with as Deli Soul know, with these various forces right there. Green can, his archers can only eventually build battering rams and siege towers. Looks like Blue's got an eye for some early holy site captures, getting a scholar to capture the sacred site. Does give him a bit of extra gold generation as well. Right now he's at 0, and when the sacred site goes up, it should tell us how much he's getting. Oh, looks like the sacred site was interrupted there by the horseman, and he's going to be stabbing the scholar now. We got an wolf biting the heels of the spearman. Horseman now advancing forward. Does get a good focus fire onto that scout. Longbowman advancing forward, getting some good damage on the spearman. Green scouts or horsemen are getting some good damage there onto his opponent's scout or longbowman or archers. Wow, getting all the names mixed up. Blue scouts are in the line, getting some good damage there onto these longbowmen. All of Blue's archers are going down. He does have a couple of reinforcing longbowmen here. And Green's longbowmen and Blue, in fact, go down. Now there's just horsemen for both sides. Blue does have a spearing number, but he does have a severely wounded force. Let's pick off focus on the wounded ones first. Very nice. Now these horsemen are going to be trying to pursue these archers. Spearman advancing forward, trying to get some good damage onto these horsemen. More archers going down. And now holy site is being, or sacred site is being captured up now. Green's horsemen will in fact go down. And the scholar does receive some hits there. Horsemen will be stabbed by those villagers and will be just taken out. Scholar's now receiving some hits as well. And now Green's horseman is falling on back. Sacred site has The capture progress has been resumed, and now being fully captured up now, and that skull's gonna get some good healing on in. So we do have, looks like the melee armor being researched by Green. And Blue's, of course, queuing up a bunch of research for his free research capabilities. Sigersice was interrupted there, but there's just too many horsemen for him to interrupt it. And the Scholar does resume the capture. Oh, I thought Sigersice does give a bit of gold income. I must have been mistaken about that. I think that's what it does in the campaign. Either way, do have now these villagers falling back away from these horsemen. One of the horsemen are quite wounded. These horsemen will be pursued as well. Have a bit of trouble. One of the villagers do go down right there. And now these villagers are getting forced back inside the town center. This horseman still being pursued. He may want to peel off a couple of them to engage these set of horsemen. And now the sacred site is being decaptured. Does receive some hits there since he made a turn. And the sacred site has been decaptured now. Green's now research wheelbarrow. Longbowman does get some good hits there on those horsemen. Archer's still advancing forward. Spearman does get taken out by a horseman, and now the Blue's horseman will overrun Green's longbowman. Green's horsemen are now trying to overrun his opponent's archers. No upgrades on this archer just yet, other than some pierce armor. Looks like Blue will pull out ahead, but still a costly victory for both sides. Green has now going for more and more horsemen now. Since he knows his opponent's going for horsemen and archers, he's just trying to knock about longbowmen since I have diminishing returns versus these horsemen. Especially with the +1 pierce armor, but now also Blue's going to blow out some hardened spearmen. Looks like the Tower of Victory is currently active, getting an increased attack speed for those spearmen. And now Scholar's going to be pursued by these horsemen trying to be taken out, but nope, he actually does not take out that Scholar. A couple of horsemen may be picked off. He is picking off individual one of these archers, and Green will be falling back now. It does lose one of his horsemen there. Woodline's almost pretty well cleaned up. Do got a nice force here as well. And Green's horseman's going to be falling back. May want to get inside this palisade gate there to get an ambush for this infantry. More lumber camps. Now this spearman does take out a horseman and is going to pursue the other one. Second side being captured up. It does have a support of an archer and spearman. Over here, we got the horseman now being pursued. Over here, horseman does go down. Good volleys there onto the hardened spearman. And now we got the horseman over here being backed into a corner. Can't find a hole through the trees. Let's find actually an opening there. Now, second side has been captured up by Blue. This horseman was going to run all the way back home, but looks like he'll be successful actually escaping on out of there. They do have good number of horsemen here, as well as a pair of scholars as well. Oh, no, just scholar and spearman. Up north, looks like a horseman does go down to the villagers. Sacred site now being decaptured. Do also have a outpost being put out here to protect this gold. Green sign to expand out to that gold likely. And the King's Palace now being poured out by the English, which is a variation of town center. Did not pursue those archers. Bit concerned about those spearmen. Now the horsemen and spearmen advancing forward. Blue's archers now in the mix of everything as well. Green's horseman looks like will manage to get to the archers. Blue's horseman now trying to get to his opponent's spearmen, but getting tied up by a bit of everything. Looks like he is going to be successful. Both sides going to be losing most of their archers. Go for this villagers. Does get some good damage there on that villager. Takes it out and prevents the outpost from being pulled out. Green's force does get cleaned on up here. And now do have this wolf rolling around as these horsemen trying to find an opening. There may be an opening right there. And Note does get unghosted right there. Do now the compound of the defender being pulled out. I'm not sure what that is. It says defense landmark, so maybe just going to fire arrows. If it was going to just fire arrows, maybe a good idea to put on the front line. Horseman portion advancing forward. Do now have all 3 secret sites captured up by Blue, which should be no problem for Green to decapture at least one. Blue has a good number of horsemen here. He could start advancing forward. Let's see, Green has plenty of housing available, so doesn't worry about population caps at the moment. So burning down some housing won't do much. Green doesn't also have a large force, but he's getting out some knights now. Mostly just horsemen, archers, spearmen. No gold units to play out on Blue. But now do have, of course, heavy horsemen for Green. Now, Blue has to pull out the Castle Age, getting a handful of research being queued up. More of the foray being collected. Here at Tower, is there a castle network? Multiple knights being pulled out and out. Looks like Blue's now going for his own knights, or Lancer, I should say. Knights and Lancers are basically the same thing, just different names of the unit. He captured this point over here, very nice. Blue's horseman is going to try and protect it. He does leave his archers in this region.
Obeisance is
He's now advancing forward with his horsemen, and Blue's bowmen do deploy out a line of palisade walls there to be protected. Green's horsemen will, or knight will go down right there, and Green's knights here will overwhelm these archers, no problem. He needs to make sure one needs to get the lead off and start decapturing the sacred site. Over here, the sacred site being decaptured by a single spearman. So Green should be able to decapture the points. Lancers and knights have already engaged each other. And you got a single knight now in the back line. Kills off a spearman, now as well as a villager. Green does have a superior number of villagers by a small margin. And now you got this spearman getting overran, and the secret site has been neutralized, so no more secret site victory at the moment. Didn't go for any palings with his longbowman either. And it looks like Green's knights will get completely encircled by the horsemen and knights and lancers. But it looks like this man managed to find an opening there, and we're going back. We do, of course, have a scout, knights, and longbowmen in this region. We'll spawn nearby outpost for our castle network. Green's villagers trying to get back to his town center, going for some barracks here, and he's got a whole bunch of spearmen. Nice do manage to hold the line. And we'll be falling back right now. Livid, battered, bruised. Blue's force is battered and bruised as well. Of course, we have the King's Palace as well as the council in this region. Gain some basic arrow fire on his opponent. And Spearmen are just charging on 4 as well. Make it does get that knight there. Outpost does go down, and now Blue's eyeing for a forward keep. Second side is currently neutral over here. This looks like there's no scholar trying to rebuild it or reclaim it. Now you also have, looks like the early man-at-arms upgrades now being researched. Looks like Green's going to try to switch to man-at-arms, which may not exactly be great versus the Lancers, but they will be effective versus those archers. Let's see, 25, 37,
Duty is none more dead.
36, 24. I think just one less tack upgrade. So the knights and knights are basically the same. Just different names. These forces are going to be falling back. The knights do find an opening there. Spearmen charge on forward as well. And with his near frontal line foray bushes, Blue's able to keep his villagers on the front line. An outpost here. He will need to deploy out an outpost here for the castle network. Though that's pretty close to the castle network. Be useful for the longbowmen, but not be able to be useful for the knights to siege down the castle. Counterweight trebuchet now being pulled out. Time to barrage down the King's Palace. You also have a spring gold upgrade as well. Oh, over here, you got a horseman and a spearman gain some damage onto these forces. But looks like these villagers will go and shank those forces. Six side has been captured. This one has been neutralized, it's being recaptured as well. Counterweight trebuchet gains some good damage down the King's Palace. And over here, the knights are now sieging down this palisade gate. You now have a counterweight trebuchet being pulled out by green. Maybe I need to counter barrage this opponent's trebuchet, or maybe just try and siege some keep. Keeps now on the siege. We have now another counterweight trebuchet deployed out on the field. And Blue's backing off north. Keeps now receiving a bit of fire. Archers now advancing. They also can deploy out stone defense as well. They may not be able to deploy out outposts, but it is to deploy out stone walls and stone towers. King's Palace now receiving quite a bit of fire. Horsemen and spearmen advancing forward. They do receive a lot of damage there from those archers. Blue's not coming in for a flank, trying to get some good damage on these forces. But Blue may be able to crack his opponent right now. Still 9 minutes remain in the second side victory. Green's knights are advancing forward. His Green's spearmen have gone down and try to get some more longbowmen as well. Our reserve of longbowmen being pulled out. He can always rally them inside the town center to get rate of fire going. And it looks like Green's force reinforcements being picked off one at a time. He needs to get these longbowmen inside the town center, I'd say. You have a handful of man-at-arms put out. Town center and Council Hall receiving quite a bit of fire from that trebuchets. They also did pull out a tower over here, interestingly enough, an outpost. And the farm will be burned down. Blue's not going for another forward keep. Green needs, I would say, battering rams. The problem is there's just too much cavalry in the field. Does get out another counterweight trebuchet. Trying to barrage down that fresh keep. And the knight does go down. Sacred site, 7 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. In actuality, if this sacred landmark goes down, that's going to be game over. He actually may get an annihilation victory. Is that considered annihilation, destroy all the landmarks? Is that just when you destroy everything? Yeah, same difference at this point in time. Keep now being repaired up in combat as well. He He needs to get out villagers to start repairing this keep, because if this goes down, he loses. Looks like this monk is trying to capture and decapture this point. What is that symbol above the monk's head? The 6 sites is still being decaptured or being paused. And the villagers do clean up the villagers. Because English villagers aren't quite good. And town center is on fire, and that is the end of the game. This sounded great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Come on now. There it goes. And there's that replay. Let's go ahead and find another person now. So you do have recent games. Let's take a look at here. 17th, 17th. 25, so potentially that one. 15 and 30. Let's go ahead and do this one here. We could go to that other 25-minute one. And we also see the Chinese. You don't really see the Chinese all too much. Actually, there's a lot of facts you don't see. I think the English is probably like the most commonly played. Delhi Sultan is also quite commonly played as well. Just get free upgrades. I'm sort of curious. Nope, there's nothing that says cast an individual person. Or nobody. Greetings everyone, and great here. Spawn on the bottom right side as the yellow Abbasid dynasty. We have Lucifero and N. Spawn on the top left side as the green Chinese. We have Liquid, Dimu. Going to fast forward a little. Let's see. Nope, there's the what's it called? Imperial official right there. Collecting some taxes. Nobody likes a tax collector. Going for a gold mine now, so it's not likely not eyeing just to collect taxes from that one location. Of course, got the House of Wisdom now deployed on the field to provide some wisdom to his people. Scouting around, not big surprise. Green has been finding a whole bunch of sheep, leaving the sheep back at home. And he actually does deposit them to the mill and not to the town center. Now, you do have now Imperial Academy being deployed on out, and the military wing being deployed out by Yellow as well. So Yellow may be eyeing the more aggressive path since he went for the military wing rather than the economic wing. Speaking about aggression, Scout now pushes way forward, or not so much. You also have a handful of spearmen and archers now advancing forward as well. Archer's making his way forward. Got a bit of a rush here. We do also have just get another Imperial official right there. He is at maximum Imperial officials right now. Now, so these forces have denied the gold right there. The Imperial officials still provide him a bit of gold for him. But I suppose inspecting the gold mine when it's under fire would be a bad idea. Yellow's forces are just dancing around now. Doesn't want to get too close to the town center. Still too strong for him to utilize. As well as I just realized something as well. I need to switch over back to Rumble so we can see any potential chats that may pop up. Down south, we do have another town center being pulled up by Yellow. And Yellow's force is still right there, sort of just dancing around for the moment, in some sort of unique patrol move, some sort of main patrol move. So I'm going fast forward since it's not being Seeing a lot of fire. So got a bunch of these steers have been shot up. Luckily, this is Age of Empires 4 and not 2, so don't deteriorate. I believe the livestock do deteriorate as well in Age of Empires or Age of Mythology, but I'm not sure about Age of Empires 3, honestly. You of course have the Tier 1 Golden Age now available for Yellow. Yellow's force is still right there, backed off a little bit. Green's not eyeing to be aggressive. And now also the Imperial Examination's being researched. Now I do got the Bodkin of the Sun, which I believe, yeah, it's defensive. It fires arrows. I guess you really need to secure this gold vein. And now you also got another town center being employed as well. Yellow not being employed out by Yellow way down south, literally exposed to any sort of harassment. But there may not exactly be a whole lot of harassment. Green's now pulling a layer of walls there, very nice. As we got the scout heading all the way back home. That's about those walls there, which can be important, but it's relatively easy to flash down green palisade walls. Speaking of which, he does have a bit of force here, but we do got a handful of defensive archers in this region as well. Watching some good amount of food there, very nice. We do got the wheelbarrow upgrade, which increases the capacity of, oh no, that's for green. For yellow, we don't see any economic upgrades just yet. We got an exotic doggy trying to be pet. Did receive some pets from some very sharp spears. A little bit too aggressive petting that it was. We do now have more palisade walls going on up. And you could perhaps just start throwing some torches here and there. Archer's now trying to pursue these forces, and looks like the yellow archer and the green archer do find each other for a brief moment. They are on equal standing, nothing too significant, no upgrades for either side just yet. We do now have the Grand Bazaar technology. Traders and trade ships also return with a secondary resource. This resource is 25%. This resource is 25%. The base value, gold value set at the market. I wonder what resource though what would it provide? It says brings in a secondary resource. Can he manually select of which resource it brings back home? By the way, Yellow's now eyeing for this marker right here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to bring out food. And his other market's way down here. And over here, we do have now the palisade wall seems to fire. These are not just any, those are not horsemen, but full-on lancers. Palace guards now being employed on out. A very heavy melee infantry, unique infantry, good damage, move faster than men-at-arms, or reduce armor. Counter with knights, lancers. These guys are lancers, so these guys are not what you want to deploy out. And additionally, they just do 12 melee damage, but no bonus damage. So there's a strong, heavy infantry unit with less armor. It actually makes it not that great, honestly. The more I think about it, most people deploy man-at-arms out to help engage archers. Something just resists fire, so this cannot be a unit to engage archers. So you have to rely more on horsemen and knights and all that sort. Knights now makes forward, trying to get some good damage there onto these, those inside the house right there. Very nice, does not lose any villagers there. Looks like they scout those go down as we got these knights now falling back. Or lancers, I should say. These villagers may be spotted right there, trying to collect some deer. And now these villagers will be receiving quite a bit of damage there. And a lot of alpha damage right there. Lancer's alpha damage is 36 damage, and the villagers have 50 health. Spearmen and Palace Guards getting some good damage there onto these forces, and does force back a handful of these forces. Do now have the astronomical clock tower, so Yellow does spot that. He may receive some fire from some various siege units, such as the Nest of Bees. But going for cavalry would be still a good item versus those siege weapons. And at this point in time, Green needs to get out some more counters. He can always bring down his unique heavy crossbowmen, the not Chuko Nu, but the Zenshu Nus, or however it's pronounced, which should be pretty effective. Of course, the base defense's inherent shot are hand cannoneers, so they do a little bit more damage. Of course, less rate of fire, but should be pretty good against the heavy armor of the Lancer. Spearmen trying to close this gap right there. Up north, you have these Lancers being chased around by these Spearmen. More Spearmen right there. As of now, we've got a crossbow, so he doesn't have. So he does not get the Zenshu Nus. So Green has become a relic there. There actually is a good possibility that he could get a mass conversion off right there. There's a nice choke point there. He can fill the choke point with his own units in order to get a potential mass conversion off. But the monk is going to make his way back home. We've got a massive number of markets here, so it looks like Yellow's Line just going to transition to a mass trade economy. More of these walls going on up. He does wall off along this cliff side. And there's always a potential possibility that if you pull out stone walls there, your units can traverse up the wall to the high ground. There is a possibility. We do now have a Nest of Bees been pulled out, which should be very effective for the infantry. We'll have to be wary of the Lancers. SB does find a great volley there, gets some extra damage. Spearman trying to close the distance. Does have a handful of Palace Guards as well. A handful of these crossbowmen are now mixed on in, which should be effective with those Lancers as well. Green's going to be closing distance there. Some of these yellow Avengers may go down. They may be expendable at this point in time, because he may be transitioning to a mass trade economy. SB does get a good volley there. More crossbows being reinforced, but looks like Green's front line is starting to disintegrate. Nest of Bees needs to start hitting these archers. Those pose a really big threat to his force, and it looks like now the crossbowmen are getting overran. But notice going straight from Nest of Bees as we got these Lancers receiving quite a bit of fire from these crossbowmen. But Green's front line does get disintegrated, does have this wall rebuilt as well. Palace got the Palace Guards advancing forward. And it looks like a handful of green infantry did get left behind. The Nest of... Oh, nope, that's... Is that a fresh one or the same one? Yeah, that's definitely a fresh one. I do know how Greased Axles. More move speed against for his Nest of Bees wouldn't be half bad. Green does hold his palisade wall there, but now do got some spring galls being put out by these infantry units. Very, very nice. The spring galls, of course, going to be pushed on forward to engage these Nest of Bees. Nest of Bees do have a range of 8 tiles compared to Golden Age, while spring galls do have a range of 10. So the Nest of Bees, they maintain their max range. It'll be really hard for the spring galls to advance forward, because then Green's infantry can advance forward and destroy them. But that's, of course, that's an ideal world. If Green stays farther back, that'd be great. We do now also have a keep here as well. Upgrading to a spring gall emplacement wouldn't be half bad either. does of course spot this keep. Can be upgraded with the extra materials. Stone walls and outposts repair nearby damaged stone walls. With a single section is repaired at 20 health per second. Not bad. But there's no stone walls. Green's palisade walls have been cracked open. Does have a handful of infantry here. Good number of nested bees to annihilate the various infantry forces, which does include man-at-arms now. He is lacking his own ground army. It's right now 109 to 123 at the moment. More palace guards being pulled out as well. Let's see, they're being pulled out right over here. Oh, looks like the Zenjus are actually ineffective for armor targets. That's my mistake. The crossbow, they're not effective for armor like the other crossbowmen. That's my mistake. Spring Goals to get short Spring Goals along his nest of bees, get some great damage there. We've got Mangonel firing a volley into this force there. Spring Goals to hit the Mangonel, taking it out. And Yellow's force being hurt by these nest of bees. Palace Guards gets great damage as well. Oh, that was a close range barrage. That fired very, very horizontal. Yellow's force now trying to run away. Green's keep is still up in line. And does put in the spread formation there to avoid the nest of bees attacks, but once they get engaged in melee, it's going to be a very tight cluster. These palisade palace guards receive some fire there. Of course, with less pierce armor, these veteran archers will be a bit more effective. Around the infantry he's been seeing, I suppose there's a lot of man-arms you can mix them in, but you could go with some Zunchun, what's it called, Zenjus? I always forget the exact name. You can always get some Zunchus. You could also potentially eventually get some Grenadiers in pure H unit. This will start making their way forward. Palace guards being cleaned up. It does lose that siege unit. The Spring Guard does get taken out by the nest of bees. And right now there's a bunch of archers and crossbowmen on the back line. The Zunchus will be much more effective in this situation. New age has begun. Economic wing has been researched, so Yellow's not here age 4. Green is not at age 4. Now he's farming villages up. I think the music may be the sound's a little bit too loud, but may need to adjust that between games. Now I do also some stone walls here, very nice. Trying to secure the flank. Barracks now seeing a bit of fire from these forces. Nothing really dedicated anti-structure right at the moment. Dell's now trying to build out a big wave. Not a big wave of anything, getting out some more horsemen. And he's a horseman, not lancers. Still collecting a good amount of gold as well as a handful of food. I guess the best way to put it is a couple mouthfuls of food. Now, I do have another keep being put out as well. Very nice. You can get the boiling oil as well as extra materials upgrade. And also these palace guards do get horseback. Palace guards are making their way forward, trying to chop up some of this infantry. Not infantry, villagers. You got a significant amount of trade deployed out here, so Yellow has plenty of gold income. You can see up here 21, 22 versus 22, 1200. So right now the Chinese player does have superior wood income, but has far inferior gold income. We do now have some of these sacred sites being trying to be running by, but the wolf may bite the monk. It does get some damage there on these traders. He does now base 4 palisade walls under fire. Does have 2 nested beasts here, so it's 3 spring bolts. Crossbowmen may get some good damage there on these horsemen. Does take out one of the horsemen now, but this horse is actually quite wounded by green, and will be taking out a number of these spring gulls. Keeping the SMBs is probably a bit more important to keep those alive. Well, let's get some good repairs onto this spring gull there. It does manage to stop those horsemen without really doing much, honestly. Here's the health of... Oh, and do have now the... another Age 3 landmark being pulled out. Green has already gone to his Imperial Age. And some of these 4A will be cleaned on up. This of course does get a spy ability there. Let's see, reveal location on enemy workers for 10 seconds. I put emphasis on the workers because it does not reveal military units, though I think he has a good idea where those are at the moment. It says Imperial Palace and it says that's revealed. The funny thing is, that landmark does not have any combat. It's not a defensive landmark. It has no attack capability whatsoever. Some sort of interested white boy on the front line, maybe just trying to put a meat shield there to draw fire. We do now have some elite spearmen research. We also have some battering rams as well. As well as a good number of granaries and rice farms. Up here, the horsemen, as well as some villagers advancing forward, trying to raid through some of these palisade walls. Battering ram now seems to fire from the spring gold emplacements and spring gulls themselves. These Keepstone actually has spring gulls. They could be upgraded to the cannon emplacements. And we do have these elite fire lancers now put on the field. Elite fire lancers do have a pretty good damage versus attack versus siege. Does take out all those villagers there. What's the advantage of the fire lancer? Charge attack deals area damage. Okay, that's their primary advantage. Do now have a line of stone walls being put out. The horsemen will not be able to break through that. Green South Fancy support with his various infantry forces as well as his nest of bees. These archers are being cleaned up. Over here we got these forces skirmishing around. There is an opening there he does manage to exploit. And now Yellow's horsemen are going to be breaking on through. Green's infantry is breaking on through as well. Let's have a handful of crossbowmen. The crossbowmen will need to fall back. There's nothing heavy. The crossbowmen's not going to be very effective for this force. Yellow's horsemen's now going straight into his opponent's force here. We got a good wave of veteran spearmen engaged. Green's elite spearmen. A number of green villagers will go down. Green does have a superior number of villagers, so he can lose some. Yellow has a massive reserve of gold, so you can sell some of that, or not sell, but buy off stuff. Fire Lancer does get some good damage there, and try to hit some of those forces. Some of these villagers will in fact go down. Got a handful of Lancers reaching engaging these horsemen, and these villagers will be picked on off. Do now have a large number of battering rams here. An absurd amount of battering rams there being picked up by these spring gulls. Nest of bees that gets some good damage as well. And looks like Yellow's archers, since they're archers, not crossbowmen, they're going to win against as well as crossbowmen. Down here, got more engagements. Been a very messy fights for both players recently. He does manage to patch through the hole as well. Battering rams are being picked off by his forces and will be all destroyed. They're trying to advance forward more there, and they got the Fire Lancers now dealing with all these forces there. We now have a monk here. He's not going to get that relic back. He may just want to go for conversion right now. Nope, does not get a conversion, even come for conversion. We have palisade walls here, nothing too significant. And down here, ooh, taking out this market is going to be very important. He should have had a backup market down there. Now all these traders will go to these markets up here. It's going to be a pathetic amount of resources, so I do see some arrows on the ground. Nope, they're going to head to this SSH workshop. I don't see a market there. He does manage to get another monk there to grab a relic. In which, oh, there's a bit of a traffic jam there. Spring Gold's charging forward. He did a move order there, and the siege units go in the back, but the siege units are now in the front because of the move order. Ironman's going to crawl themselves away. There's a lot of elite spearmen here. Zoom's news, as well as hand cannons, wouldn't be that bad at this moment. Horsemen and fire lancers are advancing forward, trying to overrun these forces. So these guys are very, very bunched up. This is maybe the time to do this. They activate some sort of massive healer build there. I'm not sure what was that from. This was trying to engage the force. Horsemen are turning force. These don't get any good damage there. And these fire lancers going straight for the villagers there, trying to deal damage to this economy. Oh, those fire lancers are great versus bunched up villagers like that. Looks like the nest of these do in fact go down. Got a handful of defensive infantry here, but keep cleaning up that stuff. And now those villagers are going to try to make an opening there. Green's fire lancers do push on in, and Yellow's backs off, unable to deal with all the breaches and units charging forward. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. In which I do need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. We did see another decent replay, potentially by him as well. Let's go and cover that one. It was, yeah, this one here, 25 minutes, even. Give or take a few milliseconds. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn right side as the Magenta Rus, we have Liquid Demu. Spawn bottom left side as the Orange English, we have Comanche 93. Up, and that was a very late response. Hopefully it won't make too big a difference. Actuality, there's a number of things that could go wrong because of that. Now the scout has extra time to start killing off all these deer, so the Roost is going to get a head start on claiming all these furs. I was thinking at first maybe the fact that the English like to sometimes rush with a single vanguard man-at-arms, but he's the English player, not the Roost, not his opponent, so don't have to worry about that all too much. We got some more scouts been pulling out. 3 scouts are pulled out by the Roost player trying to kill off all these deer. Looks like all the ones up here are killed off. And I've got these forces trying. Nope, there's actually no deer there. That's just the boar. What a boar. We got these deer going to be claimed next. Magenta will love to find these exotic doggies. Too bad he can't tame those exotic doggies. You know how the Golden Gate. You know, I'm so used to seeing the Kremlin, I honestly can't remember what one does off the top of my head. Is the economic landmark? Oh, that was like a... Was it a market? I forget exactly. Resource of Stable rate generates additional exchanges every minute. So it is a advanced market. Let's see, generates an additional exchange every minute. Does that mean there's a free exchange every minute? Or there's free exchange every minute? Nope, either way. Another exotic doggy going on down. And Magenta does claim himself a whole bunch of sheep. Being his sheeple, they're doomed. And I think Magenta had gotten a significant number of furs. In actuality, if you switch from caster mode to regular player mode, look at that. 495 out of the 500 gold. If he quickly shanks one of these sheep, he will get his max fur trade. And that way he can start eyeing to collect some extra wood, make some hunting cabins all across the map, and get some extra gold generation for free. Looks like he's going to be not claiming the boar there. He's trying to claim. Oh, he is going for the boar. Very. And there you go. His fur trade's now up, even if we have a wooden fortress, which can always use that to improve his nearby lumber mills as well. Do we have now the council law mark deployed on out as well? We do also have the White Tower orange designed for a fast castle by deploying out a fast castle. Okay, that was a horrible joke. As I deployed out here, Magenta has a superior number of villagers. And the White Castle, it just, let's see, acts as a keep of all behavior technologies and works 100% faster. So you can, with a council landmark with the White Castle, you may not need to deploy any military structures nearby in the near future, because he can deploy out stuff pretty quickly with this small amount of infrastructure. But he did sacrifice his villager count to go for this. Forestry. Magenta's extra scouts will of course allow him to scout up a lot of extra stuff. But looks like there's a nice slow game, passive game with the both sides just equaling up. We do have a handful of defensive forces here, longbowmen and knights. You can also deploy out trebuchets in the White Castle as well, so you don't have to worry about any siege workshop, and of course, build them quicker. Collecting up that deer, his opponent probably not cleaned up or killed off for him. Go for a handful of hunting cabins here as well, gain some extra gold generation. Very nice. Now the knight is backing off away from these scouts. Fast forward once again. Oh, going for conversion there with this warrior monk. And does manage to grab himself a free knight. Very, very nice. And save his war monk while at it. We do have the H3 High Trade House here. Wait, High Trade House. Oh yeah, that acts as a hunting cabin as well as generate some free deer around it. Which, 126 gold per minute? Take a look at this nearby hunting cabin, 38. Look at this gold generation. Ooh, that is a massive free gold generation. It's going to be killing off the boar as well with that captured knight. That monk converge is paying dividends I did not realize at first. And now he'll get himself a boar there as well as getting a hunting camp. Overall, it feels like Magenta has a really good grasp of the game, while his opponent doesn't really have as much of a grasp. He has these towns that's very tightly packed together. He does have plenty of territory to pull out mills with. It looks like that captured knight will go ahead and get some villager kills there. And going for a double capture of the sacred sites as well. And opponent has deployed out a massive number of hunting cabins all across the map. And since this is a map filled with a lot of ambush, high brush areas, it means a lot of trees there for this sort of playstyle, which actually is really, really good. Magenta has a 1200 gold generation. His opponent's just a little less than 400. And believe it or not, Magenta does not have a single gold miner as well. He's getting that much gold income passively. That is quite impressive. You now have H4 here. Nope, that's the wrong one. There it is. High armor. It gives him access to some unique siege technologies. Health regenerating ramps with extra damage. Fast siege weapons and bombards have high explosives. And sprinkles get a ever so slight range increase, which can be very nice as well. Wait, what the hell? Why are there so many scouts? No, seriously, why on earth are there so many scouts? Is he just trying to BM his opponent? Look at that food generation. Look at... He has double the amount of village as well. What on earth is up with all these scouts? They do extra damage versus scouts and siege. This is just... They are armed like short knives. They have a quote-unquote sword, but it's really a knife. Look, they're doing 1 damage per hit against these knights. What the hell is this? How expensive are scouts again? I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. And there's a hunting cabin. There are 70 food and a horseman's 110, so it's not very cost effective. In fact, what on earth is this? Cannot pick up 4, but I'm just wondering, what on earth is all the... Wait, what? What is going on for all these scouts? The torch is 20 damage. These knights have 5 melee armor, so these scouts will only do 4 damage. These knights are just getting literally poked to death. We do now have a pair of wooden fences here, one of them upgraded with arrow slits. And so we even got a spring gold upgrade as well. More scouts coming forward. I still don't know what on earth is going on. Magenta does a screen number of villagers. Look at that food generation. Where's like... It's all from hunting? No, seriously, how's there so much food generation? Is it literally, you know, all of these animal carcasses? Yeah, it's literally all those animal carcasses all across the map. These archers do have 2 melee armor, so scouts would do 2 damage each rather than 1 damage each. Now they're coming forward for a big torching, trying to break through these palisade walls. These knights are more than plenty to deal with these scouts, but they just need time. I want to say that this should be very easy to counter, because Spearman should be effective. He can just focus on armor upgrades. He's getting anti-archer upgrades for some other reason. He sees the mass scout. He needs anti-melee upgrade. Pack armor, not pierce armor. Let's see, villagers. We do have a base armor of 2. They are right now 2 melee armor, so these scouts will do 2 damage per hit against these villagers. This does a massive food income. Is this still really from... No, seriously, where's all the food income going on in? He does have a handful of farms here. These mills should be providing something similar. There has to be something weird going on. Sure, he gets infinite gear from this high trade house. And the scouts are marching forward, but where's he getting all the extra food income? Got the White Tower now loaded on up. Which will do some good damage with these scouts, but the scouts may actually set a blaze. Okay, let's just take a look at Magenta's food income, because I have no idea how he's getting so much food income at the moment. At this point in time, I'm wondering if... Okay, I don't really want to... This may sound horrible. It could be... Okay, it does have various... He's still collecting beer all across the map. A couple deposits here and there, so... It's not any sort of hacking, but still seems a little bit too high. Though it did max out his economic upgrades. I don't know, because something just seems off about this food generation. Those not firing away, these knights should be able to deal with these rams no problem. I will say that a lot of these farms are going on down. And it's still just mass scout. His opponent is dancing circles around with his generation, not to mention his gold generation is completely passive. He's really mastered Roost, I would say. Then again, I don't think his opponent was all that high tiered. Because who on earth would lose a mass scout? He finally got Spearman pulled out. He finally realized the counter, but still, these mass scouts should never be a thing. Now, we've still got more and more mass scout coming on board. Villagers trying to take out these battering rams. Towns are now under siege from battering rams and some scouts. We do have 1 out of 3 landmarks destroyed. The other one is supposed to Council Hall. Yeah, so it's this council that's almost about ready to go down. Orange is basically not collecting anything at the moment as well. Yeah, this game's over. And the council does go down, and now these Bannerins are going to be making their way towards this council hall now. That's just a bunch of siege workshops right there. Somehow those villagers are doing a pretty good job at taking out scouts. All sacred sites have been captured by Magenta. Hall was not set ablaze, but still got some more banner ramps advancing forward, though the villagers are taking some good damage to it. But Orange is at pop cap severely. Look, 90 out of 20 population. This game has gone crazy. And now the council landmark is set on fire. Find some hits there onto the council landmark. Is not repairing it up in time. And let's say he's trying to stop. I don't know what he's trying to do. And that's the end of the replay. That was a strange replay. Everyone, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I also still need to reduce the audio settings. I forgot to do that. Audio. Let's go down by 5%. That should be fine. Oh. Save does not mean close. Alright. Me hitting the wrong buttons. Let's take a look at the next player. Let's see now. That name is probably a little bit too common for me to find a replay. At least a good one. That one has a lot of diamonds underneath. Yep, it's at least a high ranking, so it's probably the one I'm looking for. 15 minutes. 6 minutes. 4 minutes. 21 minutes. 24 minutes, so that one potentially... Oh, here's a 31. Greetings everyone, and Greg here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side as the Cyan French, we have Don Arti. Spawn on the left side as the Green Abbasid Dynasty. Abbasid? I still don't really know how to actually pronounce that. We have Opa. O-P-A, all capitalized. Place this will go now. Not big surprise. Cyan's finding a lot of sheep right there. Has up to 4 sheep behind him. Green does find 2 of his sheeple. Now going for a lumber camp over here. Now we do have the economic ring being researched as well. School of Cavalry being researched by Cyan. Here being collected on up over here. Science getting some good research on in. Do now have a barracks deployed on the field and going for a handful of spearmen. For Cyan, we do have, looks like it's going for an early Royal Knight. Of course, you would need to get research chivalry in order to get some health regen. And let's go and slow down since we see some Royal Knights now deployed on the field. I think Green is aware of what French usually to go for and went out for these early spearmen just to stab these early knights. Not early knights, that's something different. Royal knights. Royal knight now advances forward, does not get a strike off there. And Cyan does have a bunch of sheep still being in this region. You may find some good damage there onto that scout. Royal Knight charging forward, may get its Alpha Strike, does get the Alpha Strike there. A handful of archers here, as well as another Royal Knight. Or no, that's still the same Royal Knight. We do have this Royal Knight advance forward as well as this archer, and we do have a barracks being deployed as well. Green's horseman does not receive a strike there, and does not the alpha damage strike either. Royal Knight does receive a bit of fire as well. Does get a good alpha strike there onto that horseman. Horseman still trying to pursue these archers there. Scout can't do much damage. It has 1 damage attack, so it's going to be ineffective versus archers, because it will take 70 stabs to take out an archer. Royal Knight now seems to fire there. Royal Knight's going to be falling back. Does deny that stone mine a little bit. More sheep have been claimed by Cyan, or that still looks like the same 3 sheep. You could just give them a general move order back home. Be a long time for them to get back home, but still be not on the front line. Looks like all 3 of them are rams, not ewes. We have some more force pushing forward. Spearmen and archers. There's getting a couple spearmen to protect his archers from his opponent's horsemen. So we do now have the chivalry upgrade, giving the Royal Knights health regen. Slow health regen, especially since knights do have a big pool of health. So 1 health regen out of combat. It takes a long time to get healed up. Let's just say the Royal Knight went down to 10 HP. It would be 3 minutes to get him all healed up. That is not quick whatsoever. You see here, it actually seems like it's healing a little bit faster than 1 health per second. 1 Mississippi. No, that's about 1 per second. Looks like this horse will receive some bites on the ankles. A single archer is trying to set ablaze this mining camp, but looks like he would be killed off for his heresy. This force now advancing forward. There's a good number of spearmen in this region. Village has been abandoned and does claim another sheep. We do now have another town center being pulled out right there. And it's going to be Iron to hit that mining camp. 4 spearmen and knights are advancing forward.
Parate.
As well, I forgot to turn on my, get the rumble chats up so I can see what's going on there. Archers getting some good damage there onto the scouts. Town center finds some good amount of arrows as well. And that town center does get cancelled there. Does have another town center here, so it looks like Green has 2 town centers back home. Cyan appears just at the 1, but Cyan does have a higher villager count as well. Yep, I don't see any additional town centers just yet for Cyan. And looks like he does pick off some of these reinforcements, getting the horsemen in this general region right here. There's a nice rush there to ambush forces, so cutting off the reinforcements could be very useful. These forces are starting to make their way forward, trying to get some good damage on the... Perhaps some of those gold miners. They're a little bit exposed. And Cyan does claim another sheeple, and this time's a ewe. All the other ones are guys. Does take out that wolf there, and now going for the boar. Not sure why he's really going for the boar, but these villagers will be spotted by these horsemen. 2 villagers will go down, the others will escape. I just wondered if there was something special about that wonder.
Parates servientes.
Audite milites.
Starting to make his way, hitting that mining camp. We do also have now another town center being put up by Green. Green's just going for a lot of town centers. And now the House of Wisdom's under fire. Zealot Doggy biting the ankles of that knight. And let's go and just fast forward a little bit since both mostly been passive. These forces will get spotted by Archer and Scout. Scout pursuing these forces as Horseman's down to 6 health. It takes 6 stabs from that Scout to take that one out. And looks like we do have melee attack for Cyan. Oops, I hit my microphone once again. My apologies. We've got a nice sizable force here of archers and spearmen. And now Cyan's going to advance forward trying to hit these villagers. Town Center does throw some arrows on these forces, mostly onto those Royal Knights. They have a good amount of Pierce armor, however. Archer and Spearman over here standing there, guarding the region. They're not doing all too much, honestly. Horsemen are still on a wild goose chase. Knights are trying to pursue them. They may have got their alpha strike there because I don't see the lances pulled out. And now I realize, oh, I can now recruit these forces right there. Horsemen's trying to advance forward. So we've got these knights still traversing the field. Up here, we got a wolf being killed off. Seems like the Cyan's been finding all the wolves. Now these villagers are being pursued, and now he's actually trying to siege down this town center. He does have 10 villagers on the inside, but there's a lot of force here for sieging down. Cyan's archers does find some volleys there on the villagers, taking a number of them out. Green's archers now advance forward, perhaps pull off these Royal Knights and engage Bill's force. But he may be able to destroy the town center, but I don't think he'll be able to get it. And maybe better just go for the force there. Gains some great alpha damage on those archers. Spearman now pushing forward, trying to deal with these Royal Knights. Royal Knights need to perhaps fall back a little bit with Cyan's archers advancing forward. Science scout does go down, and a lot of his forces are also going down as well. But none of these archers will go down as well. Archers will be cleaned up.
مرحبا.
Well then.
As Royal Knights does manage to escape,
Novos Ordines.
so we are starting to see some health regen. You got the green villagers not eyeing to carry out some palisade walls, and now these horsemen start making their way forward. As a small number of horsemen, they won't be able to accomplish all too much in comparison to the Royal Knights. Villager count is slightly in favor of Cyan at the moment, while Ghost Rain has a superior number of town centers at the moment. And that one villager does go down. I wonder what wonder he's went for. I wasn't paying attention. Knights trying to pursue these horsemen. Let's see now. He's gone for the Royal Institute, which is a technology landmark. House all technology unique to French research is 50% cheaper here, and Nora's age requirements, which can be very nice. And some damage right there. Another wolf has been spotted by Cyan. And these horses may finally be pursued down. Got this force advancing forward, mostly just ground infantry. One Royal Knight in the mix. Got these miners working in unison. Villagers do get inside the town center, but a number of them do go down right there. Green does have a nice defensive force here. Do got the military wing being researched by Green as well. He's eyeing to get, of course, more military. Does take out that horseman there, very nice. And now he's going to be sieging that outpost. That outpost, while it looks like stone, does not have stone research. We do now have camel archers now deployed on the field. They can't fire on the move. Not mag and die, but they let some fire some good damage state there. To do also have the ease of giving damage debuff to nearby cavalry, which is very important versus the French, who relies on the heavy cannon. The camel archers do extra damage versus light units as well, so they're very good versus these archers. Whereas the regular archers, they do a little bit extra damage versus light melee, while the I suppose that's light melee as well, so they don't do extra damage versus the archers. But they're being camels at least disturbs the horses, so these Royal Knights do less damage in general. And now the cavalry is now researched for Green. These camel archers find a nice little choke point there. Got a man-at-arms on the ground as well. That should be very good to assist this horseman, especially the fact that he's not on top of the horse. Man-at-arms getting some good damage there, but these guys are just tied in on a choke point. They're unable to really crack that location. When the farms have been set ablaze, a minor victory there, but now Science is pulling out more and more Royal Knights. The farm does get burned down. Royal Knights trying to advance forward, trying to get some good damage there. Does have his own defensive lancers in the region as well. So now the veteran Royal Knight upgrade completed, and is going for some more Royal Knights upgrades. The Royal Bloodlines getting increased health by 35%. The Royal Knights are making their way through this forest. The Camel Archers just simply aren't doing enough debuff damage. And also now these man-arms going to be cleaned on up as these Royal Knights getting some good damage there on those villagers. More Lancers, more Camels being put out. This time it's a Camel Rider. Camel Riders do extra damage versus Cavalry in general. Those Royal Knights have been cleaned on up, got more reinforcements here, including some Arbaletiers. Arbaletiers, of course, are a good crossbowman unit, and do also have ability there to get additional 5 range armor when stationary. Of course, he has to mainly deploy that out, but if this one goes for more archers, it could be very useful. Lancers now trying to pursue these veteran Royal Knights. These Royal Knights getting some much needed health regen, and the boar there has been killed. Royal Knights maybe will set blaze to this mine, or to the town center, I guess. Town center now full garrison. These forces could advance forward as well, get some good damage on in. Over here, we got a flank of knights, or lancers, camels, and camel archers. They will find some good damage there on these archers. The Royal Knights will be pulling them back. No, they're going to be moving and engage. These Royal Knights, they just need to run away, let the ground infantry engage best they can. The Knights, they just need to advance back. Be behind those archers there. They're dead weight. Or soon to be dead. And then he will lose the weight. Just managed to get out of that engagement there. This force also just builds and outposts. Villagers now falling back, trying to avoid this additional damage. Knights now charging forward, trying to get some good alpha damage there. Does take out one of the camels. And there you go, pulls back after 5 seconds. After was about ready to lose that damage debuff, or damage bonus from the charge. But the camel's debuff is basically counteracting it. Spearman does find some stabs there, but he will fall back in time. Camels making their way up north. Got the big wave of villagers here, so it's got these forces falling back. They have a good number of Arbaletiers in this region, which will be very effective for these Lancers. More Royal Knights charging forward, and the villagers being brought in the mix as well. Maybe a little bit desperate for the villagers. They will do 1 damage each. Royal Knights advancing forward as well, getting a nice flank on these forces. You got a handful of crossbowmen here as well. It should be effective for these Royal Knights. Let's pick up one of the wounded ones. So we'll be trying to hit right there. Villagers, they're dropping count. I think he had around 100, and now he's dropping down to the low 80s. There's a lot of dead villagers right there. And there's a lot of villagers there in general. Now it's a bit desperate play by Cyan. So it says no more camels split on the field. There's now a fresh camel right there. Camels do not have any real armor, so they sustain full damage from almost every source. Royal Knights advancing forward, but they don't get any charge damage right there. Crossbowmen advancing forward, getting some good hits there onto these Lancers. When the Lancer's still alive, Camel's still alive as well. If he takes out the Camel, the Royal Knights can be more successfully engaged, but of course there's a large number of Spearmen. Spearmen here can also pull out Mangonels, which could be very useful. Do now have a keep being poured on out.
ينبغي لهذا أن يظل حتى
These forces are making their way forward.
حان وقت.
Good number of crossbowmen, or arbaletiers, I should say. 7 royal knights and 1 archer. Now Science going to capture one of these sacred sites. This force are making way forward. There's 1 camel in this region. Science now trying to blow out the castle as well, which is in range of this keep. Science going to have to hold the line for his villagers to build that keep up. Once that keep gets deployed, he should be able to deal good work against these various infantry forces. Villagers now seeing a bit of fire. Lancers trying to overrun these crossbowmen. Not Lancers, veteran royal knights. These arbaletiers having trouble versus various spearmen. Spearmen, of course, are not a heavy unit, so they will sustain no extra damage. And crossbowmen have a high or low rate of fire. And I have a good feeling he's doing a lot of overkill there. And his villagers, he's down, bringing more villagers there. Science now down to 70 villagers, now to 69. Not exactly a nice number at this moment in time. And going for a mass conversion there. There's still 1 villager, all villagers are down. And managed to get the keep before, very, very close there. Now the monk does go down now. Spearman advancing forward. This keep many cancel. Just bringing some more archers there, or more villagers there. He only has 63 villagers left, and right there's 21. That is a literal third of his villagers being brought forward. Now he does finish off the keep. He can throw his arbaletiers inside the keep so that decreases its arrow count. Let's take out one of the lancers as well. He needs to throw these arbaletiers inside the keep, I would say. It's going to be a castle war. Might as well make it more into his advantage. Science going to be hyper aggressive to point out a pair of siege workshops. Maybe try and go for some battery rams or counterweight trebuchet. He does not have the economy to get out 2. I suppose he does have enough just for 2 quick trebuchets, but he doesn't have the economy to support it. In fact, he's down to 45 food per minute. Looks like Science going for all in. His opponent just needs to stall out and get and he has a very, very healthy supply of resources. First trebuchet deployed on the outfield.
ماذا لديك لأفعل؟
Now, so he did throw on something inside this keep. Tributaries, of course, have been pointed out. Sign technically has a better military at the moment, but his economy is far, far inferior. We got a handful of barracks employed out, as well as a counterweight trebuchet to engage Science keep. Or engage the villagers. Point out another keep right there. This is all in from Cyan. I think he brought up. That's still just a third of his villagers, the same 21. Cyan's keep has received quite a bit of fire there. Green's now pulling out another keep there with 24 villagers, which has very, very expendable number. Got a handful of Mangonels pushing way forward. 2 keeps hitting Green's keep. Number of Science villagers going down. The keep will be completed, but it is very, very wounded. Green's can try to repair it on up. He needs to repair up that castle as quickly as possible. Mangonel's not firing a volley onto this Green's villagers there. Does get a small splash damage there. You get these Mangonels to just keep in range. Let's force back those villagers once again. And Green's castle is whittling away against this Mangonel. It does get repaired up by a nearby villager. He's going to throw some arbaletiers inside that castle. I think he should. Green's now reaching Hero Rage. Sorry, battering down the House of Wisdom. He needs to hit that keep. Science keep is now all set ablaze. He is a small amount of stone in reserve. Reason now fancy forward for all these horsemen. They're not heavy, so these crossmen will do basic damage. Does actually use the passive ability there. Very nice. Which I say passive, yeah, which is the actual name of it, not a passive ability, but the passive ability. The Science Keep will go on down. We do have a massive number of trebuchets here, honestly. 6 trebuchets, 2 mangonels. House of Wisdom has 17,000 health, a very, very durable building that is. Brings out advancing forward, and Science does back of the game, unable to deal with all the horsemen advancing forward. This is Adam Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Come on now. There it goes. And now, let's go and take a look at another player. Let's see, who is next? That's hidden. That looks like it's hidden as well. View all leaderboard. Go here. Of course, it does also have the dog as a profile picture, when his name is Puppy Paw. Let's see now. 11 minutes. 16 minutes. 9 minutes. 17 minutes. Ooh, 32 minutes. That should be good. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spot on the top right side as the Yellow French, we have 1 Puppy Paw. On the south side as the Red English, we have 80 Bunty. Got a house and mining camp being pulled out over here. Bull's going for his mining camp now. There's a good number of sheep gathered up by Yellow. Red, let's see, where is his scout? There's a scout, got a good number of sheeple there as well. Didn't take time to drop them off or task them back home to their new home, which will be people's stomachs. More sheep being cleaned up by Yellow, very nice. Looks like Yellow's doing quite good with the sheep collection. Now we got the Skull Cavalry being pulled out by Yellow and the Council Hall by Red. Council Hall is pretty much common for English. Skull Cavalry seems pretty common for the French. Going for a early Royal Knight. Hopefully Red gets out some Spearmen. He knows against French, you know he's going to fight against a whole bunch of Royal Knights. So Doggy does go ahead and find some bites there, and now it's going to slow on down. And it's got these Royal Knights starting to make their advance. So we got a couple longbowmen here. There's some palings there, but he does move out of their range of the palings, so he did not get the 3 stuns there. He was fighting against the wrong direction, but good job of getting palings deployed on the field. You don't see them all too often. Villagers do have, of course, 5 range attacks, so they're much stronger. The English villagers are much stronger than other factions' villagers. Though the Royal Knight does 3 range armor, so it will do 2 damage per arrow, which is still make it so these villagers only do 1 extra set of damage. We got some more palings being pulled in out, very nice. Now, of course, do stun and do what, 25 damage to cavalry? Yeah, stun for 2.5 seconds. And this Trying to avoid those palings there. Very nice. He will not be able to place the stone mine at the current rate. Looks like one of the sheep does find some arrows as well. Gonna go ahead and task them all the way back home. He does decide to pull back from the stone mine now. Looks like he's gonna be eyeing some gold next. He has reached what? Okay, he's reached so far at 400 stone right now. So he may have something planned for 400 stone exactly. Probably, yep, town center. That's what he had planned for. Cost 350 stone. Row Knight's now advancing forward, trying to find these longbowmen. No palings. Oh, got a set of palings being pulled out now. And it looks like he's going to find some angles on these villagers. And dude got the palings now being tripped there. One of the Royal Knights do go down, the other one's being hit as well. Scout does see some hits as well. The Scout does have health regen. And the sheep do go down, so that could be some free food for the English. Going fast forward, looks like Yellow's backing off the aggression. Red could attack, but he has to be careful about any counterattack. It looks like the longbowmen are going to advance up north now. Oh yeah, I can use the air. I made it so you can use the WSD for my mappings. You have 4 or 6 longbowmen here that should do plenty of good damage. We do also have these villagers in this region. And the longbowmen are backing on off, avoiding the town center fire, or receiving the town center fire, I should say. Going for an outpost here, eyeing for the castle network for red. I'm not sure who's actually building it. This villager's building it. Maybe I'll spot this outpost being built.
Yes.
7 longbowmen advancing forward. Right now they are doing 6 damage per attack, so that will be 42 damage per volley on villagers. Villagers have right now 50 health, so if he gets 2 more longbowmen that can one-shot villagers, they currently have 0 pierce armor, 0 armor in general. This longbowman will be picked off. Very nice. You can keep these horsemen in this region to whittle away his opponent's reinforcements. Because right there, that was a free kill. Mill being claimed or built, as well as this outpost. Collecting some deer there. Handful of palings supposed to blow it out right there, and now Yellow's stone mine is under siege. These forces are making their way north. Our tower is almost fully built as well. More archers, more spearmen advancing up north. You've got the tassel network now active. Does get a good volley down the villagers, takes out one of them, and very late response there. Does get inside the tower now, does lose one of his longbowmen. We've got another castle tower being pulled out as well. Red will set ablaze this mining camp. And these horsemen do find the reinforcements there. Does receive some stabs from the spearmen, does take out one of the spearmen. In actuality, somebody pissed off the boar. The boar actually got the kill on that spearman.
Equilla. Ferras began.
Cavalario, Barat.
Let's get some damage there on some of those villagers. Arrows are raining in onto these longbowmen. Red does have a good force here.
Bon labour.
Barat pour venir.
And now Yellow's going to be claiming this foray.
Barat
Yellow does have a nice little ambush force there. It's in the shrubs, so it's less. It's more hidden. We do also have this outpost now. We're seeing a bit of fire as well. Over here, Longbowman may get picked off by these Royal Knights. Quick shot kill there. Does take out the wounded Royal Knight as well. He does not have Chivalry for health regen. We now have the Siege Engineering being employed out by Red, eyeing to get out some forward battering rams of his forces.
On me faut trahir.
Cometh on!
Royal Knights now advance forward. Will not find the Spearmen in melee.
Poste de service.
Is advancing forward as well. It does cancel. I'm not sure what that was. Could have been another mill. Could have been still outpost. Red's now, his tower is out under fire. He's loaded up some Longbowmen in the back of the tower as well. Getting some good damage there, but the problem is they likely will get overwhelmed. Tower will be destroyed there. Garrisoning the two Longbowmen and the Spearmen.
Dida.
Yes.
Steranda Tima. Cometh on.
You now have another archer range another pair of archer range trying to be employed out by the French player, but Red is advancing forward quite aggressively with this ground army. There's no tower in this region, and that's not a villager either. Magnell's been deployed on out, trying to get some great splash damage on these Longbowmen.
Let it was gone.
This force now making his way down south, trying to get a good engagement. And now Red's going for the King's Palace. Villagers not sure why they have the spears pulled out. Maybe they were fighting against a boar earlier. I know that's find a pretty good volley on that Longbowman. That was a pretty nice tight grouping as well. Let's get some good damage there. The spearmen are quite wounded. Got more archers deployed on now. Good volley there. Longbowman advances forward. Yellow's archers are going to be outclassed by the Longbowman with extra range. Let's get some good volleys there. Spearman will be not putting some stabs into the Maganel. The Maganel may find another volley there. Nope, will not. Now Red has a pretty sizable force here, gunning down most of those infantry forces. Yellow only has a very small force. It is largely composed of knights, which is 4. And archers receiving some fire there from the Longbowmen. We do got H3 for both players. One was the King's Hall. And I'm not sure what the other one is for. Here it is. Royal Institute. Looks like the Longbowman does receive some fire from that town center. And the house is receiving a bit of fire. Red's Longbowman heading up north. Good damage there onto those veteran archers. More veteran archers going down. Royal Knights going closing distance, but there's a good number of Longbowmen here. They don't have any additional. Oh, they've just got the attack upgrade now. Oh no, that was just the. Actually, I just saw the attack go up by 1. But I don't see arrow. Okay, there's 2 arrow upgrades. I was looking at the arrow armor upgrade for some odd reason. Good volleys there onto on these archers. Gets a kill down the villagers as well. Very nice. Takes out all those villagers. Takes out the archer now. Now the Royal Knights, all that remains. Going for these villagers now. Got another reinforcement wave. That is a yellow outpost there being upgraded to Springald. Archers getting overwhelmed by these knights.
C'est le temps d'advenir, mes seigneurs.
Le verre
Tower does get garrisoned by those infantry forces. Should be able to get some good damage onto these spearmen. There's some man-arms here, but they're just early man-arms. And the longbowman does get overrun by the Royal Knights. Another small force pushing on out. That's one villager that looks like he's eyeing for a outpost somewhere. Looks like Red is now transitioned to some crossbowmen as well as man-at-arms, going for more of a gold-based army. Notice that villager going to try to shank that veteran longbowman. Does get some good damage there. But villager does go down in time. Villagers do have 6 or 8 attack right now. And defensive keep being pulled up by yellow, trying to help protect this flank. You got a couple Magnos now pulled up by yellow as well. Villager will be spotted and will be stocked. Stone walls were attempted to be built. Spearman doing kind of good damage there. Takes out one of the wounded Royal Knights. The spear brace. Longbowman will be overwhelmed. And he does bring over his Mangonels in this reach as well. A little bit of overkill there with that small little incursion. Longbowman right here. Yale's now trying to quickly build up these walls as quickly as possible. And the stone wall will go up quickly. Red's now going for his own stone walls along the other flanks, so both sides walling up the flanks. And this wall segment here, you can start to see expand out this direction. If this cliff was short enough, it will allow him to get passage up onto the high ground. Of course, it's nowhere near tall enough. I'll grab some foray. Yeah, I guess I have pretty good force here. 2 Mangonels and as well as a Candleweight Trebuchet, and has a good decent defense force here of archers, crossbowmen, and a couple Royal Knights. You got a good wave of man-at-arms from pointing out. He has upgraded to man-at-arms and no longer early man-at-arms. And now we do have Chivalry, Steeled Arrow, as well as Horticulture. Over here, just got some more stone mining and more Pierce armor. Man-at-arms getting some good damage there onto the mining camp. These man-at-arms can push their way forward. The stone mine has not been fully mined out. We've got more and more yellow forces just grouping up right there. That villager does avoid the trebuchet fire, but will not avoid the crossbow fire. Villager now receives some fire there. Man-at-arms advancing forward, trying to get some harassment on this gold mine. This gold mine is almost depleted as well. So right now it's just meant for killing villagers. Need to put a stop move to manage to start having to hack away against various villagers. Multiple villagers are going on down, very nice. And Yellow's not responding to this force. In fact, there's a big fight right here I missed. A lot of dead forces here. Looks like Yellow was unable to build up this castle. All of his villagers are dead. Red's Mangonels are going down as well. Looks like they all have gone down. And now we've got Red's Man's forward with a handful of longbowmen forces, crossbowmen, as well as man-at-arms. Take the Counterweight Trebuchet, cancels the castle right there, and this force will be cleaned on up. The man-at-arms over here are still going at it by a couple of crossbowmen. They're hitting the wrong one as well. Yells now has less villagers, trying to go for another castle here in the middle combat. Most of these man-at-arms are quite willing to quickly be killed on off, but I think he may be getting a lot of overkill as well. Got multiple stables now being pulled out. And the castle has been completed. He could try getting his villagers inside the castle there to increase the arrow count temporarily. He would need to pack up the trebuchet in order to build those stables as well. Single man-at-arms go around torching down this various collection points. Now Yellow's going to be advanced for these forces. Does have a good number of spring balls in this region as well. And looks like that monk will go down to some man-at-arms. You have this villager being eaten by a wolf. And that wolf's also denying the deployment of that palisade wall. Crews are French influenced by reducing units cost by a further 5%. I think right now it's up minus 20%? 25%. Man-at-arms advancing forward. Seafoot fire. Magno fires a volley there. Does get some splash damage there. Looks like he's going to make his way up to the high ground. Royal Knights will find engagement there. That's better engagement for the Royal Knights. They, of course, are a much heavier melee unit than these men-at-arms. Oops. And these men-at-arms are going to just be running up north. We've got the Arbaletiers are now pursuing them. Over here we do have, looks like the trebuchets now trying to siege down Red Yellow's castle. The Royal Knight's going to try to clean them on up. These crossbowmen getting tied up on by pathing, and it looks like the Magno or Counter trebuchets will go down. And our two turn around and get annihilated by the Arbaletiers. We now have a stone tower here. Or should I say an outpost upgrade of stone, not necessarily a stone tower because it's something different. These Royal Knights are going to be making the way to the villager line, trying to get some good harassment there. Spring Gull's now trying to be pursued, but looks like the crossbowmen will force back the Royal Knights. Royal Knights now still getting some damage there. Sizable forces force of withdrawal to protect it, and now got the Berkshire Palace being deployed on out. But it's not going for a secret site up here, and as well as going for another keep. These forces are making their way forward, trying to get some good engagement. Man-at-arms receive a bit of fire there. Crossbowman does find some volleys on the Royal Knights. Of course, we got the castle network here. He does have the improved castle network as well. 40% attack rate rather than just the 15. Counterweight trebuchet being deployed on out. Berkshire Castle has been complete as well. Has a really good attack rate as well as really good range. Let's see, what's the range of it? Power range 15. Trebuchets now making their way forward against good damage on these structures. Red, of course, captured up this sacred site. These two sacred sites are, of course, neutral at the moment.
Oh yeah,
And Red also has an outpost up here. Currently unupgraded. Probably the best idea to keep it unupgraded to draw attention, to avoid drawing attention. Now Iron hit that keep. The stable below is on fire as we got these villagers trying to grab the keep now. Oh, this Greece is receiving ×2 network castle. Not like that makes much of a difference. It's actually a little bit of a bug, but I suppose it just the priest. Doesn't do significant. Can't attack it either way. Priest does go ahead and go on down. You have now another keep being pulled out as well. Second site's almost captured. Also got a outpost being deployed out as well. I think that's an outpost. Yep, it is. Villagers receive quite a bit of fire from these longbowmen and from the castle. The Yellows keep us still under fire as well. Man arms advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on in. We got these Harboteers getting some good damage as well. And the man arms will in fact go down to the Arboteers. Two keeps are in this region, a little bit overkill. The monk is no longer on the sacred side either. He does not advance forward with some spearmen, they're just veteran spearmen at the moment. Veteran horsemen upgraded, a couple cannon placements as well, so this is going heavy in the cannon placement. Trying to go for a mass conversion there. Monk was picked off by the crossbowman, very nice. I wonder if his automatic attack order got him lucky and got the kill down the monk. Stone mine has been cleaned on up, and these horses see a bit of fire there. Massive wave of villagers withdrawing from this region, but Red's force should be cleaned on up. This castle now receiving a bit of fire. It is. These keeps are upgraded the cannon placement. The cannon placement does 72 damage, so that is a good amount of damage. That was going for another keep as well, trying to get this one really built up. Elite man arms now facing forward. Maybe going to just go straight for the keeps, but he's going to get some great damage there on the villagers. A lot of villagers in this region. He's really trying to get these deployed up. Got multiple tribute ricochets being deployed now. Man arms getting some great damage there on these villagers. Red fades forward some more man at arms along the flanks. And now Yellow's going to be cleaning up this middle stone as well. Man at arms have been cleaned on up. Gold mine's almost completely cleaned up, and that's an 8,000 gold mine now gone. Both sides are pretty low in gold. And now man at arms gonna be making their way through this palisade wall. You can now see quite a bit of fire right there. Oh, we just got the elite horseman upgrade right there, but they will be immediately cleaned on up. Man arms are breaking through here. You got an outpost here, also upgrade the cannon placement. Man arms going to be making their way forward, trying to deal some damage to these mills. More man arms charging on forward as well. He's investing his gold on a lot of man arms. The English player has a massive amount of gold. He may even actually has a very, very good amount of gold, and there's no traders out in the field just yet either. Elite horsemen and man arms not trying to gauge it out. Got, however, a massive wave of crossbowmen or Arboteers getting good damage there on the English forces. Man arms are sword charge on board. Elite horsemen now seeing hits from the elite horsemen, and these man arms have been cleaned up from the elite horsemen. More man arms charging forward. Red's castle is now set ablaze. This castle is not set ablaze just yet. And the man at arms trying to gauge these elite horsemen and melee. Trebuchet is receiving quite a bit of fire from the elite horsemen, but it looks like he will save it in time. Yellow's going for more stone walls along the flank. Nope, here we do have. Let's look at all these palisade walls. Going for a market here. These are yellow walls. These palisade walls are red. I have no idea what on earth he's trying to do with those palisade walls. Red's also going for a keep here.
That's beyond it! Let's get well!
Yellow's keeping on seeing quite a bit of fire there. Yellow's stone wall's almost complete. And Yellow's actually backed out of the game right now. Maybe a little bit too early, but I guess he was getting frustrated with the amount of forces just charge on in onto his base. By the way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. It looks like I need to use the restroom once again. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I am back. When I'm casting and streaming, I tend to drink a lot of fluids because my throat tends to get a bit dry. Let's see now. Let's go find replays from this person. Only the one person. We got a handful of replays, even from today. 16 minutes. 22 minutes. That says 20 seconds. 20 minutes. 22 minutes. I'm so tired of casting English and French. Again. We're gonna go for that one. Or we can go for this one here. 51 minutes. Oh boy. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the magenta Rus. We have whatever this symbol is. Spawn on the right side as the red Abbasid dynasty. We have Louis MT. Let's take a look at the scouts. Red scouts going around. Here is magenta scout. Does find out some wolves there. Let's see, the deer down here have not been spotted, are now being spotted now. And we got a good number of wolves being claimed by magenta as well, which actually is pretty good for magenta. And now it looks like red scout trying to pursue magenta scout, and he is going to get double teamed right there. Red scout is more wounded. Magenta needs to start going after these sheep, kill off these sheep to get some fur trade. Looks like he will not, however. We do now have a Kremlin being poured on out. And I feel like I'm about ready to sneeze, so my apologies. Sorry about that if you heard that. More lumber being claimed. Red's horseman is going around. And Red is going to deny these deer over here. Magenta does find another wolf there, which is pretty good. And it looks like got the economic ring being researched as well. Magenda's going for the course to Kremlin. And does not get the kill on those sheep. Does find the wolf there. Red's trying to claim the kill there. I think Red actually got the kill there. Got a bit of scout fight there. Red's scout is receiving some hits there from the wolf. Magenta's trying to get the kills there. And looks like Magenta does get the kill on that wolf. Still not hitting these sheep. Let's go out of Castle Vision for a moment so we can take a look at the fur trade value. Looks like Magenta has claimed up to 250, which is good. More wolves being picked off as well, and that should get him up to 300. Still needs another 200. Let's go back to caster mode. Religious statistics, overseas statistics, it's not going to be important. I was wondering if that's a way you can see the trade, the other benefits there, but we do not. We now have the fresh food stuff. Reduce the cost to reduce villages by 33%, which is pretty nice. And wheelbarrow. And the Fertile Crescent, reduce the cost of economic buildings and houses by 25%. Not bad. Invest now to save money later. There's 2 gold mines right here. So there's 12,000 gold in this little corner here. That's very nice for this where 1 gold mine can cover both of them. The scouts are now trying to pursue each other, trying to get some good damage on in. I just remembered something as well. Need to get Rumble back up going so I can see if any chats pop up over there. Now, we also got a handful of militia up on the field. They have 25 seconds left, trying to go for these villagers. And even just having them run away is denying doing economic damage to his opponent. We got another town center being employed on out, trying to get some good damage onto it, at least on the building villagers. And he does, militia does time out. Or fast forward once again. Looks like these scouts are getting some good damage there on this mine encampment. Spearman does get some good damage, however, on the scouts as well. It does take out one of the scouts, very nice. So at this point in time, the scouts' usefulness has definitely degraded. Scout running around. Do have a handful of walls palisade walls being deployed on out there. Of course, since the Rus has improved palisade walls. And now that fort has been cleaned on up. Very nice. Now going for a camp next to it. Now that boar is being collected. Red's now building a town center next to all these deer carcasses. Very nice. As well as defensive. Oh, that's not defensive, but a mill. Good damage there onto that early night. Or from the early night. Scout now being pursued. You have some early knights here for some early defense. I just had to read something. I was always for the fact that building a mill next to berry bushes increases their capacity or their food availability by 100, which just sort of seems funny to me. It's like, why is that even a thing? Because you go and build a mill next to them, barring the fact there's a town center. It's one of those weird interactions. Just these people, they don't want you to build town center next to berry bushes for some odd reason. That's the only reason why I could see that interaction being a thing. So I suppose it's more of their civilization benefits, because I don't think the hunting camps does the same thing as well. If we have this one down here, yep. They could have just made it so that I don't know, they could have just made it so the mills for this faction could just, or villagers get more resources picked up for Barry, I guess, rather than just do this weird interaction. We got these spearmen advancing forward with a horseman. Down here, we got these horsemen and a scout receiving some fire from the town center. And looks like Magenta has advanced to the next age. He has gotten out the monastery landmark. I'm more impartial to the other monastery, the other landmark myself. He has some good gold generation and food generation. Food generation through a deer, gold generation through a massive aura for our hunting camp. And you place it just right, you get around at least 200 gold per minute from it, which actually is very, very sizable. Over here, we've got this wooden fortress. Now we're seeing quite a bit of fire right now. There's no other defense for him at the moment. We do have some early knights, scouts, and militia now advancing forward. The wooden fortress almost down half health, but it looks like it will manage to survive. The force is trying to get the flank there. Militia still has another 50 seconds, so they will have plenty of time to start slicing away with their glaives. Also, these horse archers now up on the field. Relatively rare thing to see, honestly. You don't really see horse archers all too much. They're unique unit to Rus, which they can't fire while moving like the Magadai. And let's see, what's their? They don't offer any particular high damage, just 12 damage. Attack range. It's just a mounted archer to be pretty good at fighting. That's about it. It is honestly relatively rare. You don't really see people go for horse archers all too much. Or now being reclaimed. This hunting camp does provide 27 gold per minute. And how is the trade benefits? So let's switch back to out of caster mode. And he is at 375, so still needs 125. Horsemen did poke forward, trying to get some damage on in. Horse archers, one early knight, or now just knight, and one scout advancing forward. A lot of horse archers, that's for sure. You don't see them deployed all too often. And spearmen will not be very good versus horse archers, because the horse archers can kite all day. Let's get a good volley there onto that villager. Very nice. They do 12 damage each. Villagers have right now 50 health, so 5 horse archers can one-shot a villager. Or we'll just do 48 damage, so you need 2 more points of damage. Now we do have right now a Castle Age. He's gotten out, what was it? I think that was the military wing. Yep, military wing. Horsemen now trying to pursue these forces. They are going back away into the forest. And I'll do a bit of stutter stepping there. Very nice. Horse archers don't exactly have the highest pierce armor. In fact, they have 3, and the horse archers doing, what, 9 damage? That's a scout. 10 damage, actually, right now. So it'll be good damage there. We do also have one camel here. The camel is providing a nice debuff there. So I think it was 12. Now it is 10, as long as they're near that camel. Horse archers dealing some good damage there. They may look like they're shooting firing, but they're more or less getting knocked around in the fire animation. Keeping a couple of these camels mixed into his forces is going to be very effective. But now we've got a handful of militia advancing forward. Militia, I believe, just does... They do actually do extra damage versus cavalry. They do plus 12, so they do up to 24 damage to cavalry, which is actually pretty good. And now they're going to advance forward to hit these palisade walls, risk turning around to get some good engagement. We've got more of these knights now being pulled them out. Magenda's force is very wounded. He perhaps gives out some warrior monks to get healing. I wonder if warrior monks count as mounted with camels. Probably. If the Warrior Monk gets one hit in, it gets a nice aura benefit for his forces. Let's keep an eye on the Warrior Monk, see if it does get the cavalry debuff. Horse Archer's doing a good job of kiting around. His opponent's having trouble getting any solid engagement against these Horse Archers. You now have another wooden fortress being employed now, as was a mining camp. Magenta's not spreading out hunting camps around the area to get extra gold generation. He could perhaps do that. Magenta also has less villagers at the moment as well. You now have this Warrior Monk claim the secret site.
هذا أن يظل حتى بعد ممات ينبغي لهذا أن يظل حتى بعد ممات.
Oh, and that scout does go down. Very nice. Warrior Monk is backing on off, being pursued by these forces.
Потрудился изрядно.
Построено крепко есть.
Wooden fortress has been built there. No lumber. No lumber camp there to improve its resource drop off. Yep, just lumber camps in town, so there's not mining camps. You have a tower deployed out here. It may look like stone, but it's not stone. Doesn't have the fortified outpost. These forces now advancing forward, trying to get a good engagement. It's a purely mounted force with 5 warrior monks in the mix. Horse Archer does see a bit of fire there. Let's see if one of the warrior monks get the... Yep, the warrior monks do receive the camel unease debuff. Got a handful of ground archers here as well as a spring guard replacement. Not going for the arrow slits as well. Perhaps will get the castle turret. Archer now advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these forces. There's a handful of crossbowmen in this mix region as well. Looks like 4 crossbowmen. A nice mixed force there. 4 3-man arms is included. Down south, we got this cavalry force trying to break open through some of these palisade walls. His scout is on the other side as well, so he's able to scout out what's on the other side of this wall. This force now trying to come to respawn. If he does break through and enter through the region, he could be potentially trapped. But this is actually his set of palisade walls there, so he could advance forward to escape. Looks like these couple of knights do get spotted there. It does get overwhelmed. Now he is aware of that massive force there. He can advance through his palisade gate right there and potentially hit this region. Militia should be about timed out. They're down to 10 seconds. We got a good number of archers in this region as well. Militia do decay right there. Now we do also have a keep being pulled out as well. Camels and forces advancing forward. Archers trying to get some good volleys in. Camels have no armor. Or no base armor, I should say. 2 melee ranged armor at the moment. So this force is pushing pretty far in, but got these forces pushed far in as well. This Hunter will go down. These camels are getting the mix. We got a big wave of militia advancing forward. Very nice. Militia have plenty of time life remaining to get some good work on done, as well as these veteran archers able to pursue these forces. This force is not stopping engaging, they're just constantly running away. And now the militia are able to get some great value there, because either they fight or they die, or they fight and they die. The militia do get cleaned up. Of course, they're not the most durable of units. Archers going to be backing on off. Concentrate was cleaned up by this force here, and this plain warrior wants to keep his own forces topped off the tower. More archers being pulled on out. You need to get them back on the line over here. Red does have a superior number of villagers by a small margin. And this force is starting to get cleaned on up as well. He's gone for that, as well as the Abbey, a monster in Abbey. Interesting. interesting. Trying to neutralize that sacred site, or at least just running past it. And his force will be cleaned on up. Looks like Magenta's force falling back to the woods, getting all kills a lot of villagers there, or maybe it was spearmen. And with those warrior monks in those regions, get some plenty of healing. Not sure how many of his own forces went down, but it's definitely cost effective for Magenta. This force is quite wounded as well. A warrior monk could help top off the health. That looks like a similar force he had beforehand, at least the same number of warrior monks. We do now have an outpost here, as well as a wooden fortress. And it looks like Magenta's building another mining camp on top of his opponent's carcass of a mining camp. Another sacred site will be claimed with the influence of a castle here. Wooden force has been, this is the one that was upgraded quite a bit. Also going for castle watch. Might as well go for castle turret. That perhaps we could throw a bit of a garrison there to get some good damage output from it. The wooden fortress has a 12 attack damage, which is equivalent to many things, so he could potentially throw some units on the inside of it to get a good damage output. That'd be 14 damage per arrow. That'd be even greater than his cavalry archers. So throwing garrison inside the wooden fortress would not be half bad. In fact, in comparison, these archers, they have 9 bow range damage. The, let's see, 1.212 attack speed. Not only has a fast attack speed, but also higher damage. But granted, it does have less damage versus light melee, but his opponent doesn't really have light melee at the moment. So I would say garrisoning the wooden fortress would be a good idea. So we got another wooden fortress here, not being upgraded at the moment. Mega now announced advancing forward. We've got warrior monks and various forces. Cavalry archers getting some good damage over the wall, but the crossbow doing even more damage. Veteran archers now advancing forward. I wonder as well, arrows fired. I wonder if that does include the other additional arrow emplacements that get fired out. Battering ram has been pointed out. We'll be able to deal with this stone fortification. I call it stone. It's just a stone upgraded fortified outpost. Because honestly, fortified outpost upgrade, it makes it more of a stone tower than stone towers. Because who on earth actually builds stone towers? Seriously, what are the benefits of stone towers? I'm curious if anybody's actually made some really good benefit from them. Because they can be torched down. If they couldn't be torched down by ground infantry units, that would actually make them much more effective. Oh, there's also burning oil research as well. Wooden fortress now seeing some fire. We've got a handful of battering rams pushing his way forward as well. Mangonel does fire the volleys, a couple volleys there. Has cleared out clearing around it as well. Mangonel does go down. And we do have more battery rams facing forward. I wonder, does the outpost of the wooden fortress do not get access to the burning oil upgrade? We've got the trading ring being researched. We have the high armory deployed out for the Rus. These access some extra siege technologies. We also got some cannon placements being deployed out into the keep. Stone Fortress cannot be upgraded with that, but it looks like this one is not being upgraded to Stone cannons. And this one's being upgraded to cannon placement, so that's why there's 2 cannon placements coming on. And massive research wave coming in for Magenta. It's going to be a long game, so might as well go for the economic upgrades. Maybe we'll get some good damage on these forces. Does clean up one of those horsemen. Okay, Ram's getting some good damage there onto the palisade gate. Going to engage by those archers and crossbowmen. Now we do have some Streltsy deployed on the field. Streltsy are, of course, an excellent hand cannoneer unit. Palisade gate does go down. Streltsy, the longer they stand still, the higher their attack rate. So I wonder if they still count standing still if they're getting knocked around by battering rams. Battering rams start making their way through the breach. Red has his own battering rams right here. Both of they look like they're just getting repaired up, but I don't know if they're actually fully built. I don't know why it looks like they're just not fully built. There's Spring Gulls in the breach as well. Red's not eyeing counterattack with a large wave of spearmen. And these forces are being slowly cleaned on up. Forces are getting cleaned on up. They got a handful of battery rams here. Spring Gulls can do some damage to it, not a whole lot. They do 70 damage, so they do 20 damage per shot against battered rams. Bring some dents into them. More battery rams being forwarded now. Got Streltsy crossbowmen are advancing forward as well. We do now have a Culverin deployed on the field, which is a anti-siege unit. Crossbowmen and archers getting some good damage there onto the elite spearmen. The elite spearmen do have currently 2 ranged armor, not a whole lot. And now do have the elite knight upgrade, as well as the elite archer upgrade. Increase the weapon range of Spring Gulls by 2 tiles, as well as reduce the load time. While the high technology one does give an additional 0.5 tile range as well. And we captured a sacred site there, so it looks like he's captured up one. That one he won't be able to really contest. Horsemen advancing forward with some force archers. He does have some warrior monks in that mix, so he's able to kill that force no problem. Mentioned it has a massive number of battering rams in this region. You got a handful of Mangonels now on the field. Elite horsemen getting hit by these archers. Castle still firing with his cannon. This gold mine will be harassed. He can throw his villagers inside the gold mine as well. Looks like they're going to go straight for this castle. Boyar's Fortitude has been completed, so now his cavalry is a little bit more durable. They have 300 health. Horsemen have a 180 right now. And warrior monks gain some much needed health as well. You also now have the biology technology being researched, giving an additional plus 28% health for his cavalry, which should be very effective for both his cavalry. So no additional arrow castle turret upgrade. No getting any garrisons in that tower. I don't think anybody really garrisons the towers all too much, even though technically, statistically, they will provide more damage output than foot archers. But that of course means they're immobile. Knights advance forward, trying to get some good damage there onto these elite horsemen. And it looks like these elite knights will take out the elite horsemen, no problem. Big wave of villagers advancing forward. Do have the castle here as well as a wooden fortress. The wooden fortress has not been upgraded to castle watch. Got a pretty good sized force here. Got some Streltsy now getting overwhelmed. Streltsy do have also an excellent melee attack. What was it? They have an absurd 50 melee attack. Of course, they hit really slowly, but sometimes you just need one good shot to take out your opponent. Horsemen trying to overwhelm those spring gulls. They're doing relatively successful at that. Streltsy are now starting to get their rate of fire bonus as well. Able to start gunning down all these forces. This force is actually quite wounded. They need to fall back, get the warrior monks to heal it up. The battery ram could withdraw their ire. We do also have a palisade gate here, so it should be able to retreat back no problem. The palisade gate does go down. You got the battery rams charging forward, trying to deal with these walls. More Streltsy archers in this region, with more knights being deployed out. I can also find some shots there. And these horsemen, it looks like, will not be able to take out these Meganos whatsoever. This force has not been healed on up. Does rebuild the palisade walls there, but that should take no time to go down. Now this force is starting to advance on forward. There's still a good position for Magenta. Streltsy should be getting their rate of attack bonus relatively soon. Meganos advancing forward as well. Do have another wooden fortress being pulled now. Very nice. Nice overwhelming does take out a bombard. Bombards are expensive, and taking out one like that is very, very good. Mangonel getting overwhelmed as well. The Mangonel will not be saved there. This force of horsemen now advance forward, trying to deal with these traders. Now traders are rapidly going to go down right now. There's also a technology building right here, going for chemistry. Using health damage gunpowder units by 20%. I supply his own hand-cannoneers. In comparison, hand-cannoneers, they have the same attack speed as Streltsy, barring their attack speed bonus when they're standing still for long enough. They have the same damage, and they have no powerful melee defense attack. So and I think Streltsy are just generally cheaper. We could take a quick comparison look there, but great damage from these traders. So far, great engagement by Magenta. Horse archers getting some good damage on in. Warrior monks getting some great healing as well. If you click on one of these archery ranges here, cannoneers are 120, 120. So keep that in mind as we look for Streltsy. Streltsy are 90, so not only they're better, they're also cheaper. They may have less health. Could take a look at that next. 150 with a plus 20 health modifier. And also now they do have the chemistry upgrade getting additional damage. But Streltsy should be able to get that as well. And also this fortress is going to be hunted down to the empty earth. See, Streltsy have 130 health as well. But that's with no bonuses. Where's that hand cannoneers again? Okay, they have plus 20 health, so they have base same base health. Now, in other words, Streltsy are good. Camels are getting ripped apart by the Streltsy. Streltsy are not on the back of camels. They're not conquistadors. Great damage there onto these camels. And this horse actually is quite wounded as well. Trebuchets advancing forward. There's a lot of palisade walls here for trebuchets to use. Got these trebuchets going a bit too far forward. They need to push over here, and now they're getting pushed the wrong way, getting wiped out there. Magenta's force will take out Red's force here, but Red's force is actually quite wounded. And not to mention, Magenta has a superior force and superior numbers. He can throw his forces inside the tower, get some arrows firing. We now have a culverin or a bombard right there as well. Over here, it looks like a couple camels hitting some villagers. Red has 49 villagers. Magenta has 115, so Magenta has less villagers. The force does allow them to pull out a larger army, but Red has a bigger army of 50. So you may want to lose some villagers there to get out some more military units at the moment. Red is at maximum population. Magenta still has plenty of population space. Got some good damage there coming out of this bombard, but looks like these infantry forces will go down. Take out these bombards. Oh, that is a massive number of siege units. Holy crap. Red sells some gold back home. Small deposit of 1,000 remaining. Agnel's doing kind of good quality there, but though they make it overrun by these camels. There's a lot of camels and horsemen. These went too heavy in the siege, but Warrior Monks and Spearmen now advance forward. These Spearmen are just, they're unupgraded Spearmen. There are Dark Age Spearmen. Streltsy now advancing forward. He may want to call out Militia. I think Militia will work better than Spearmen at this moment in time. He has plenty of food for Militia as well. Red's forces are starting to get a little away. He does take out these forward emplacements. Got a big wave of bombards advancing forward. Streltsy getting some good damage there. Guns down some of these forces. But Red's streaming some more reinforcements now. Magenta needs to become a little bit macro. He has plenty of resources for horsemen. Might as well spam them out for the time being. He is getting a good number of knights out of the field as well. I think the regular horseman would probably be a little bit better at this point in time for his cost effectiveness, because he does not have much gold reserve left. And nor does he have traders for his gold. He does have some good gold generation from those hunting camps, so maybe we want to eye getting more and more hunting camps. Magenda's now trying to overrun these bombards now. Streltsy are advancing forward with some archer support. Bombards can even see a bit of fire from these knights. We've got camels in the region. Bombards seeing more and more fire. They're starting with some villagers. He has far too many villagers. He's at 160, so he even has more last time we checked. Cabins. This one at least still provide a base of 25, I guess. Do got another round of fortified Palestinian walls being poured out. You also have some culverins to go on the field. They are counterpart to the Spring Golds. Speaking of which, he just one-shot a Spring Gold with a culverin. Culverin does 102 damage to siege units, so it will one-shot many of these siege weapons, including the counterweight trebuchets. Large wave of camels being pulled out. He needs a spearman to push on forward. He does have an upgraded spearman now. He does have veteran spearman now, so it's one from Dark Age to Castle Age spearman. And it looks like Magenta does find an opening there, but of course there's some stone walls in this region, so you may want to get out some battery rams to poke some holes in those walls. So these horsemen will escape on, push on way through. He's only veteran horsemen as well, not elite horsemen. But he has plenty of food and wood at the moment. In fact, if he were to save up a bit more gold, he could potentially go for a wonder. Streltsy now advancing forward, receives some damage there. Multiple culverins, multiple bombards right there. And looks like a red Magenta is trying to hit these traders once again. Hopefully soon, also get some hits on the siege weapons. Magenda's ground armies make it ran in this region. You get the siege weapons back, the horsemen need to start charging forward. Siege weapons are expensive and valuable, better save them. Streltsy advancing forward, not getting damage on these forces. Castle not firing away as well. I hear a bunch of stuff being poured on out. These camels Camel's starting to get whittled down. Red does have plenty of gold generation thanks to his trade caravans. He is actually lacking food of all things. He has plenty of wood, plenty of gold, lacking food. Got a number of battery ramps here. The Magenta should be able to clean them up, though he is lacking a bunch of melee units there. They're trying to hit his other siege weapons, just looking for more expensive bombards. And right now, the traders are collecting wood and gold. He needs to transition to get those traders collecting food, not wood. Castles are now seeing quite a bit of damage right now. Archers and Streltsy are just getting some good damage there. But these camel riders are just very, very durable. Infantry gain armor when near a camel unit. The opponent is not pulling any infantry units to go along with them. More batteries advancing forward as well. Got some spring bolts here. Magenta's trying to repair up this castle while in combat. And Magenta's just pouring in more and more of these horsemen. Camels are starting to get whittled away. And once the camels are all gone, these horsemen will report these siege weapons. No time flat. They're starting to do some of his trebuchets there. He's out some of these battery ramps. Battery ramps are still up and going. And there we go. Now these cannons are getting overran. Magenta's ran out of the ground force to protect his cannons. We've got some hand cannoneers in this region, but they will provide enough damage output. All those battery ramps are now down. We've got a massive wave of archers and spear now advancing forward. All his cannon are now down. Magenta's going to be falling back with his horsemen, trying to regroup. Does have some warrior or veteran horsemen. Still no elite horsemen. You may want to take time to get the elite horseman upgrade. You can get elite horsemen, right? Where's the stable? Yeah, you can get elite horsemen. Now it's gotten a little bit calm. Got a big wave of 4 enemies advancing forward for red. He has plenty of wood and gold incoming. He has plenty of gold right now, just lacking everything else. And it looks like these horsemen are just trying to stream on forward, trying to get some of these siege weapons, but it looks like unsuccessful. Spearmen are getting some good damage there onto these battering rams. Battering ram does get one shot there before going on down. There's a good number of anti-siege weapons here. We've got a good number of hand cannoneers in the mix, however. Horsemen do extra damage versus siege, plus 10. So this is getting some good damage there on those siege weapons. Bombards now firing away against the castle. Battle rams received quite a bit of fire, starting to go on down. Now do got the looks of the elite horseman upgrade, or elite spearman upgrade now. Diagno's getting some good volleys there, and Red's force does get forced some back. Magenta is claiming a bit of that gold there. He's getting out. Ugh. He may want to avoid cutting down any more trees and get some hunting camps out on these various forest tiles and get some more gold generation from hunting camps. He has plenty of wood for deploying out hunting camps. He just need to take time to get some of his villagers to do that. Firing away. The cannon does do 70 damage, so it can do some damage with the banner rams. We've got a good number of banner rams in this region. We've got a good number of man-at-arms as well. Elite man-at-arms which way forward. Horsemen are needed to target towards not the middle ones, but the end banner rams. And cannon is advanced forward, gets good damage down to the Magenta's forces. The keep is now set ablaze. More spearmen now being put on out. Looks like they got more raids there onto his opponent's trade, which is actually very important indeed. Cannoneers looks like overkilling some of these forces. Archers are not really cutting it out at the moment. These archers getting gunned down. Got hand cannoneers with the support of the camel. Increases their armor. Not sure by how much though. Currently their armor is 5 melee, 5 range. So oh, he's a good decent amount. Magenda's infantry starting going down, but he's starting to rally with some more forces. And now got a pair of trebuchets over here as well. Battery rams have all gone down. No, they're still battery rams pushing way forward. Use the crown with the quickly spawn militia to engage that force. Hand cannons received quite a bit of fire. These horsemen are still alive in this region. I'm not sure how much damage they did. They must have done a bit more than expected. Double time. Schultz gained the double time building. Basically, it's a sprint building for them who are around over. We also now have a handful of elite lancers here, but it's only on a good number of elite spearmen. Those are the camel or benefit, does 5+2/+2 armor. We got a handful of strokes put out by Magenta as well, trying to go for some more siege workshops, trying to replace some of the structures. Red's gold force is starting to make its way through. Magenta has a massive reserve of resources. It's lacking production. He lost a lot of production structures, so this is very important. This force will get overwhelmed there. Got more and more production here. Got a large number of production. 11 barracks. Jeez. That's still just not enough production. Hand cannoneers get some good volleys there. There's a good number of hand cannoneers in this region. And these archers only do have base attack. Well, I suppose against 13 gets reduced down to 8 with the camel armor. And armor in total because hand cannoneers. Nice now turning forward. We'll take out that mangonel. More, and now we've got militia being poured on now. It should be relatively effective versus these cavalry. They do get a lot of bonus damage versus them. Resonant going for some outposts as well. Mangonel needs to be a general attack move forward. And now we just start pushing way forward some reinforcements. Got some more battery rams here, pushing way forward, taking out some more of these fortified walls. Now it's opponents to get more of this production. Red still has a very large reserve of food and wood. He does have only still a veteran horseman. He does have enough gold for the elite horseman upgrade. Horsemen are going to take time to overrun those hand cannoneers. Very nice, but the battery rams are still pushing way forward. Those battery rams left uncontested will destroy those production structures, which he desperately does still need. More and more batteries just pushing way forward. A tide of them. Red does have a pretty good reserve of resources right now as well. More of these battery rams going down. Mangonel push one forward, gets a decent volley down the archers. Magenta's Mangonel not getting some good hits there. Does get a good hit down those hand cannoneers. Battery rams still pushing way forward, taking out too much of Magenta's infrastructure. He needs that production. And now we do have some gold traders here for Magenta, but they're getting killed off by these forces. This is not good for Magenta. The fact that he did not spam out his hunting cabins is really causing him some issues with gold generation. He should have plenty of gold generation from hunting camps, but he does not. Horsemen now trying to overrun these culverins. They're an anti-siege unit. And I've still got more of these elite lancers pushing forward. He's lacking barracks for spearman production. And Magenta does back out of the game. I'll say the biggest issue that Magenta could have done better was the lack of hunting. He should have built out more hunting camps. If he would have deployed out, well, he had plenty of wood throughout the entire game, or at least in the ends parts where he needed more gold at. If he would have deployed out, say, another 20 hunting camps to get out some extra gold, he could have easily got additional 500 gold per minute through the entire last 20 minutes of the game. By the way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Let's see now. Let's take a look. Let's see if this person has any open replays. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Again, nope. Here we go, we got some. Let's not do the customs, let's go to the solos. 16 minutes. 10 minutes. 14 minutes. 22 minutes, so maybe that one. 14 minutes. 13 minutes. Here we go, 29 minutes. As much as I'm sort of tired of casting English, Holy Roman Empire is something I don't see all too often, so let's go and do this one. Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side as a Cyan English, we have Louis MT. Spawn on the top left side as the orange Holy Roman Empire. We're 3DB. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Of course, it's the early eco game.
Ready.
Enti?
We do have now the Minework Palace deployed on out, as well as the Council Hall as well. Looks like Orange collected a good number of sheep. Cyan has supposed to collected more sheep. Minework Palace. It is, of course, acts like a blacksmith. Technology research costs 40% less, 40% faster. Contains technologies unique to this landmark. Building, of course, we get the emergency repair upgrade. Unique text also got the marching drills, increased movement speed of infantry and religious units. Riveted chainmail, of course, gives +2 melee armor for spearmen and horsemen, so make your trash units much more durable. Steel barding grants knights and range +2/+2 armor, make your knights much more durable. Also, we don't see any barracks deployed out over here just yet, which may cause a bit of a problem. Of course, we got the 2 archer ranges, but can only deploy out archers, crossbowmen, and hand cannoneers. Nothing special, pretty standard. We got now these sheep now being collected by these villagers. So they got bopped in the head by the staffs that they were carrying. Scout going around. We do have these archers. Good number of archers here. Longbowmen, 2 spearmen. You got the scout patrolling around, but neither side's being aggressive just yet. He's just getting aggressive defense, I guess. You now have the early man-at-arms upgrade. Now do have these forces start pushing this way forward. You got a good number of defensive archers here. Longbowmen generally, statistically, are better than regular archers. Longbowmen are better than regular archers by a small margin, getting +1 damage and +1 range. And of course, they have access to palings, but neither side is one horseman, and I doubt palings will be useful versus scout, especially since the scout only does 1 melee damage either way. These forces are making his way forward. May see engagements. Cyan Scout does support the force and does get cleaned on up. Losing the scout is somewhat important because it does deny him from scouting the scout out. We do also now have some early man-at-arms deployed on the field, which should be very effective versus these archers, at least or at least durable-wise. Let's see, do we see any of these unique upgrades have been researched? What was this one right here? That was like a... What was that, +2 attack? Armor, horseman. There was something that got researched there and I can't remember what it was. What was it? It was something... I can't remember what it was. A good number of man-at-arms right here. They do, of course, have 3 ranged armor. And the archers do, of course, have 6 attack, +5 bonus damage versus the light melee infantry, but these are heavy melee infantry, so these archers will do 3 damage per arrow versus the man-at-arms at the moment. And man-at-arms do have 120 health in comparison to, say, spearmen, which only have 90 health. Also, I got these guys sort of tiptoeing around. Man-at-arms will be receive quite a bit of fire there. One of them does receive a pretty good volley there. Does lose one of the man-at-arms. You can't be losing them all too much. Another man-at-arms does go down there. Now we've got the castle network benefits. Start pushing his way forward. All of this man-at-arms looks like... Oh, nope, that one does barely survive. Oh yeah, as well, I need to bring up the Rumble chat so I can see what's going on and get live. This force, of course, going around a little bit. Archers. Orange doing a good job of keeping his opponent contained to his base. He doesn't have to worry about defenses for the time being. Adding also a good amount of gold there. We do now have the riveted chainmail, giving this spearman +2. Oh, that's melee armor, not pierce armor. So that'll be nice versus the man-at-arms, but not very good versus the longbowmen. We do now have Cyan going for the King's Palace, which is a town center-like building. Barracks here is not built, has been interrupted, and Orange is going for a nice little patrol force around here. Keeps opponent inside his base. Fast forward a little bit because it looks like just sort of dancing around. Cyan may be going for the next age in order to get out some knights. I'm getting all my words butchered up. If we don't have any stables built, also that may be a false belief. But now we do have the King's Palace now deployed on the field. Acts like a town center with all behaviors, technologies, units, and bonuses. But other than that, nothing too special other than you don't have to spend stone on it. Good damage there onto these forces. Scout does receive some damage there, so he actually rebuilt the scout, does get out. King's Palace does get garrison, could abandon the garrison. We have a handful of man-at-arms in the region. And now we do have the man-at-arms upgrade, as well as the armor-clad, giving the man-at-arms +2/+2 armor. So maybe trying to overwhelm these archers with heavy armor. These forces are starting to get slowly cleaned on up. He's not doing a good job of countering out his opponent, is he? I would still say the knights would have been a bit of a better option, but over here, got these men-at-arms now advancing forward. You need his man-at-arms back at home. You got a handful of swordsmen or horsemen here. Now these man-at-arms have 6 armor, and now they will sustain, what, 1 damage per arrow? 6 range damage, so yeah, he will only sustain 1 damage per arrow, so these man-at-arms get enough time and do clean up these archers. Oh yeah, now I remember the upgrade here. It was the move faster. Infantry moves faster. More man-at-arms streaming on in. He needs to regroup. Streaming them one at a time is not a good idea. Now his opponent's pushing forward his horsemen. Horsemen do 10 melee damage. Force X damage with range and siege. But the man-at-arms can withstand quite a bit of their own abuse from the horsemen as well with the 6 melee armor. But he simply does not have enough man-at-arms. He needs to get a pretty sized group of them. Do you know how the Ragnell's Cathedral being pulled out right here? Or how to pronounce it? Regnitz Cathedral, which acts as a monastery. All rugs generate additional 100% gold while garrison. And yep. So if he claims some relics, that would be great for his extra gold generation. Even if he does get some range attack upgrades on his archers, those man-at-arms can still withstand quite a bit of beating. Right now they do 6 damage, and his opponent has 6 armor, so he will need 2 additional damage in order to get 2 damage per arrow versus these man-at-arms. And he's starting to group them up, which should be, and they should be pretty effective versus archers. Also, right now, Orange need to pull out crossbowmen. Going for the veteran archer upgrade, which will be nice, but I don't think it will give him any additional damage. It'll give him more durability to survive against these man-at-arms, but that's about it. Do now have looks like a relic site being captured up, or secret site I should say. That's getting +2/+2 armor, and looks like these man-at-arms will get overwhelmed. These man-at-arms are going to find an angle there onto these archers, does get one of them killed off now. And these man-at-arms are very, very good at the doing. Looks like he's going to stand there and fight, which is actually not a good idea. He needs to continue microing them. These man-at-arms are punching much higher than the weight currently, but still not high enough.
Yes.
Also got the veteran longbowman upgrade being researched, which is very good. So we got the one captured the secret site. This secret site has been paused, not being captured up at the moment. And the secret site's not being captured up either. All these horsemen are quite wounded. And let's start making their way forward. Orange to claim the secret site. And these villagers are going to be making their way to the town center now and trying to avoid any additional damage. Just inside the garrison there, very nice. None of them do go down. Now they've got the man-at-arms facing forward. Do have a couple longbowmen, veteran longbowmen. Now they have 8 range, 8 attack, compared to the veteran archers, which has 8 attack and 5 range. What was the actual range of this? I think I was up the wrong line. 7 range. So the longbowmen do have now 2 additional range, which can be very nice to engage. Orange now capturing multiple secret sites. This one is not being captured up. He does have a monk relic next to it. He can quickly capture it up and start applying a relic victory pressure on his opponent. Both sides going for their archer attack damage, which of course increases the damage by 1. And right now they are doing 8 damage, so they'll give them 9 damage. The man-at-arms current armor is 6, so that will give them 3 damage per arrow at the moment. Right now they're doing 2. A 50% damage increase versus the man-at-arms, which is quite significant to say the least. Cyan should eye some more melee armor. He could get 2 levels of melee armor, or range armor, should say, and that will get his man-at-arms to 8 armor, making his bonus archers do 1 damage per arrow, which will be massive. Plus, the monk does get inside the tower there, and apparently monks can fire arrows out of the tower. Got a pretty sizable engagement here. Neither side has their... Oh, we do have orange at their... Both sides their ranged attack damage, and now getting range armor for Cyan. Knights do have very good range armor. 8 range armor, so they're doing 1 damage. Not getting impaling sound for his longbowman. His man-at-arms have to stand and fight against these knights. And we also got a handful of crossbowmen now brought up by orange, which will be very effective for his man-at-arms. Cyan just not doing a good job countering his opponent. That unique technology from the blacksmith getting all his foot infantry units more move speed has been very, very good, because a lot of these guys just move around so quickly, and so you can mix his horsemen and his archers quite reasonably well without having horse archers as ability to be deployed. And now the man-at-arms going to be, or the knights are going to overwhelm his opponent's force, and now Cyan will likely lose. He had fast castle. He definitely should have gotten knights of his own to overrun those archers. If he would have done that, he would have been fine. His bonus landmark is what probably allowed Orange to win this game so handily. Looks like Cyan's not back in the game at the moment. You know, in my opinion, he has lost. Oh, nope, the second side has been decaptured. See, he's gotten all the 3 unique technologies as well. So these knights just have a ridiculous amount of armor. 8 armor, holy crap. You need a crossbowman to deal with those things. I don't even think spearmen would do a lot of damage to them. Plus 23 to cavalry, so they would do some good damage to these knights. But right now they have 230 health as well as they have that high armor and a good reserve of health.
Gute Arbeit. Schöner Bau.
Vorwärts! Verstecket euch nicht hinten!
Over here we got these forces advancing forward. Knights trying to engage the knights. He's finally transitioned to his own knights. But right now they have 4 armor versus 8 armor. And to get up at this point, we do got the Springald upgrade. He's also outside the influence, so he cannot use the emergency repair ability. Knights are now inside Cyan's harvesting area, so it's not looking good for him. And look at this, note this formation of his farms. He's maximized his farming location. Rather than go for a nice neat grid, he went for a giant H. Relics are now being pursued. He can shore these knights. Just have to be careful with these spearmen with his knights. We do also got the Age 4 landmark, the Palace of Swabia. Axe towns that villagers 200% faster and at 66% less cost. Jeez. Granted, it is an Age 4 landmark. The cost to build this landmark is reduced by 20%. They know that this thing's unlikely to be built and be used for most of the game, but this does allow them to, if you lose a lot of ability, you can quickly rebuild them at a cheap rate as well. This basically acts like production of as 3 town centers at reduced costs to support the cost of 1 town center, but produces the rate of times 3, which actually is quite significant. Looks like Orange's army has finally been cleaned up in this line. Scientist still has a superior number of villagers, and now we've got a 4 to keep being pulled up by Orange. He also does have this 4 relic just in case he wants to try to go for conversion. That circus site has been captured. Unlike he's going to recapture this one.
Something to shed then.
Good sweet around me, man.
We now have another keep him push on his way forward. He may want to find some way to get the emergency repair. Be a whole line of structures to get over there. That could be very handy.
Marker.
Oh, relic garrisoned as well, so he's able to increase armor by 50%, damage by 35%. That's why he had that monk on the front line, not for conversion, but for that benefit. Knights now advance 14, some good damage there onto this keep or outpost. We got more of these knights advancing forward, pillaging some more of this fortification. Right now, the knights have plus 9, 10 armor. Jeez. The longbowmen have 10 damage. These longbowmen will do 1 damage apiece. The veteran spearmen are still outclassed quite a bit as well, so they do get good bonus damage. Carlos getting some good healing on the knights as well, so they're even more vulnerable. And finally, Sign finds to pull out some crossbowmen. They do, of course, get plus 9% heavies, but honestly, with that 9 ranged armor, they're still doing 12, receiving 12 damage. That's actually not a whole lot. Well, counter units now became a standard soft counter unit instead of a hard counter unit. Another keep now put on the field. He is pushing forward these keeps, getting a monk relic inside of it, or the monk relic inside of it itself, of the monk. Going for a cannon placement as well. And now science space is being pushed in by these keeps. Back. Science force is being whittled down. He has an inferior force. And now these knights are pushing way over to this region. Getting some good damage there on these knights. They'll just now starting to get on hit. We got the archers getting some good damage there onto the crossbowmen as well. And a wolf is now fighting some forces as well. Last thing he needs at the moment. We now have elite knights on the field. More and more spearmen being pulled in now. There's nothing on these keeps at the moment. And even starts seeking down one in melee. Still has the other one to support as well. And the cannon placement can do some great work. We now have a counterweight trebuchet being pulled out, trying to deal with these keeps. Slowly but surely, it will. Very slowly. Wolf is starting to bite some of these forces as well. Knights still running around, trying to get some good damage in. Those Knights are just going to be backing on off. Orange now getting more and more forces on the front line. And listen, now the council hall is being under siege. We do now have a bombard cannon. Keeps under fire. Keeps now seeing more and more fire. Now he needs to utilize emergency repairs. He managed to get his ability of emergency repairs up the front line thanks to that nearby town center. Now emergency repairs being activated, giving him an additional 3,000 repair. Which actually is very, very significant. Mangonel pushing forward to get a volley there, but Wolf and Mangonel does roll a miss. Now the trebuchets getting overran by these knights. Spearman trying to deal with these knights, but having trouble pinning them down. More trebuchets being deployed on out. One landmark is currently down. So I'm just gonna see the okay. 2 out of 4 landmarks now destroyed. There's a third one here. And the fourth one's here. Got the Berkshire Castle now firing on the field, and sign dust going back on off, realizing the game is over. This is Adam Great saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Yeah, let's go and find another player. Let's see now. Oh, wait a second. I know that name. He was one of the back when I was casting Grey Goo under the name of Lord Aegon. He was one of the players in for Grey Goo. It looks like only doing team games looks like recently, so guess I can't cast any replays with him. Let's see now. What's another player? Oh, match history. Here we go. A couple customs. Customs should be fine. 30 minutes. I'm sort of tired of casting English. It seems like every other game's English. Roos versus Roos. Mirror matchups can be fine, but not always. More English. Let's find somebody else then. Here, let's try doing... Can I copy and paste a foreign name? Yes, I can. And match is hidden. Now let's go to the Age of Empires 4 leaderboards, which has go through ELO rather than the rating through H4 online. Here we go. Got some 2v2s. 13 minutes, no thanks. 17 minutes. 12 minutes. Try this person then. I'm having trouble finding replays this moment. I'm starting to get a little bit exhausted as well. I started the stream a little bit early and I'm getting pretty tired. So I think maybe it's now just a good time for me to stop. Sorry about that. Everyone, have a good day, have a good evening, get some good rest, and enjoy.